Hello and welcome to the London 3-day, coming to you live from the Lee Valley VeloPark in London. It's the third session today of the weekend's programme, and this is where it starts to get pretty serious. It's Saturday night after all on the boards. We've got 60 plus riders from across the world, divided between the women and the men, about to do battle with the Madison pairings, of course, at the heart of the affair. The velodrome beginning to fill up, the riders making their way onto the boards then. And just to mark your card on what we've got coming your way, we'll have 4 Madison chases, 2 for the women, 2 for the men, 2 at the start of the evening and 2 Madison chases at the end of the evening as well. And in between that, a whole raft of different races as well, including the men and women Derny races, the women's and men's elimination races, and for the men as well, we can have part 3 of 4 of the men's flying lap competition. It's a team event, of course. If you're familiar with 6-day racing, there are 16 teams racing for the men and 15 teams racing for the women. This is the penultimate session, so it could be quite a decisive session in terms of the overall standings. And alongside me, as he was yesterday as well in the commentary box, I'm delighted to say that the sporting director of the Jacob Alula men's road team, Matt White, with a bit of a track pedigree as well to his name, is here once again to enjoy the action here on the track in London. Matt, you were in commentary yesterday, you were here to witness yesterday. Did you enjoy what you saw?
I did. I think the 6-day format is an exciting format. It's slightly different obviously from championships, and it's non-stop action for 4 hours.
Yep, there's a touch of glamour as well about it, touch of showbiz. The riders are here not only to put on a great sporting spectacle, but they're also here to entertain as well. So expect loud music, loud cheering, and a lot of frenetic action as well. And as I alluded to, Matt, at the heart of 6-day racing, we've got this event called the Madison, haven't we? And for those of you who are perhaps watching this for the first time, the Madison pairing, that's the event that involves those hand slings as well. It's an incredibly skillful bit of racing, very dramatic, sometimes can be quite difficult to follow, but it's also, when you kind of crack the code as a spectator, it's very beautiful to watch, isn't it?
It is. It's these guys and girls, they're very, very skilled. The speed that they are getting around this velodrome is incredible. And whatever event we're talking about here with the Madison, it's always hectic, very technical, and we've got some great events to look forward to this evening.
Yep, we certainly have. First up, it's going to be the first of 2 men's Madison chases as well. They're going to be racing over 30 minutes on the track, the men, all 16 different teams. And if you're tuning in for the first time, you will notice perhaps that the 16 different teams, both riders in the pairings, have the same number on. There's Elia Viviani, for example, the superstar Italian track specialist and former Olympic champion. You noticed just before the lights completely went out on him there that he had a black number 4. Well, his illustrious pairing, Simone Consonni, another Olympic champion as well, he's got a red number 4 as well. And that's how you differentiate between the 2 riders riding on the same team. But here he is, Matt, Elia Viviani. He genuinely is one of the, for a long time now already, one of the big superstars of the track and the road.
He is. He's one of very few riders who's been able to really excel at such a high level on both road and track. Like, he's done so much over the years on the road, and also, I think he's been to 3 or 4 Olympics on the track as well, obviously culminating in Olympic gold medal. So he's one of the stars of our sport on both spheres of road and track. Yep.
You can see those idiosyncratic kits that people wear in 6-day racing. You've got the team jersey of this event, London 3-day, on the top half of his torso, but you can also see his trade team that he rides for on the road, represented with that logo on his shorts. He, of course, rides for Team Ineos on the road. So the riders now getting up onto the boards, and they are going to get into number formation with Team 1 on the front fairly soon, and they're going to be introduced to this crowd. We're expecting, as the evening fills tonight on Saturday night here in this brand new event, only on day 2, we're expecting, according to the organisation, over 3,000 spectators in before the end of play this evening, which is a decent crowd. So they're going to be treated to a real spectacle here. I think Elia Viviani and Simone Consonni, they might be, in terms of their international standing, probably the headline act, but they've got work to do. that's the general classification as things stand at the moment, and Team 4, Viviani and Consoni, find themselves in second place to a pairing from the Netherlands and Great Britain. Very interesting pairing as well. Yuri Harvik, who is a prodigiously successful six-day racer going back for many years. And Matt, he's paired with a rider you know very well, young Ben Wiggins. They're leading the way.
It is. I think it's a great combination. The experience of Harvik, and obviously the youth and an up-and-coming star in Ben Wiggins. So those guys really took it to the Italian pairing last night. But if you look at those points there, that you could throw a blanket over the top 6 or 7 teams. There's not much differentiating them with points or laps. So we're going to have some very interesting battles this evening to see who comes out on top on your second evening.
Absolutely. Well, the riders now getting into that formation, so we can get a good look at them as they're going to be introduced to the crowd fairly soon. Looks like it's going to be in reverse order, and it's Team 16 who get introduced first. A all-British pairing of Will Tidball and Will Perrett. Both these riders with a lot of track experience. These
guys really surprised me last night. I didn't know a lot about these guys going into the event, but they really did surprise me with a couple of great wins, and they'll be a team to keep an eye on tonight as well.
Will Perrett there with the red number 16 on him. He's a former British national Madison champion a couple of years ago in 2022. And Will Tidball, well, he is the reigning European Elimination race silver medalist. Team 15, got another Will here, raising his hand there. Young 18-year-old Will Gilbank, a winner of a stage at the Junior Tour of Ireland. And he's paired with James Ambrose Parrish, who is a bronze medalist in this year's British National Madison Championships. So that's Team 15. Moving on to Team 14 as well. Charlie Tanfield, who's a staple of the British Team Pursuit squad. He's got the black number 14 on his kit, and he's paired with Callum 12s, just 20 years of age, from Scotland. Scottish National Individual Pursuit Champion in 2024. Moving on to Team 13. Cian Kao, 35 years of age. He's wearing the red number 13. Much more experienced, the Irishman, than his young teammate, the 24-year-old Oscar Winkler. From Denmark. Just moving on through the squad now. 12, Fabian van der Bosche, the Dutchman. He's paired with Keegan Hornblow, who's a Kiwi. I think you quite liked what you saw of Keegan Hornblow yesterday, didn't you? Albeit he is a Kiwi, not an Aussie.
I did. He's part of their Team Pursuit setup, and he really took it to the bigger pairs in some of the endurance events last night.
Lindsay de Velder, 29 years of age. He's wearing the black number 11, and Jules Hesters, who's pretty experienced. He's a European Championship Elimination race medalist in 2024, and he wears the red number 11. Invisible, actually, against the red jersey there, but the team in red, that's team number 11. Moving on to the Dutch-Polish outfit of Team 10. With the black number 10, that's the 33-year-old Wojciech Szalowski, and a very experienced six-day racer partnering him in the 30-year-old Jan Willem van Schip, who is last year's World Madison champion. So he knows what he's all about, the powerfully built Dutchman, one of the biggest riders in the bunch. There's number 8. Oh, we've skipped number 9. We might come back for them. But Vincent Hoppezak and Philip Hain. That's the all-Dutch pairing there. Appropriately enough, in the Dutch orange as well. Got a feeling they're saving the introduction of Team 9 to the end, aren't they? Because there's a home favourite there, Matt.
Yeah, and currently also leading on points.
Absolutely. All Danish pairing now, as you would expect from that very Danish-looking kit, Team 7. With the black number 7 on, it's the 23-year-old Robin Skivild, Team Pursuit champion of the UCI Track Nations Cup in Hong Kong just recently. And his partner, Anders Finnbo, 28-year-old former Danish National Individual Pursuit champion. Here's a team in white with Claudio Imhoff, very, very experienced Swiss National Madison champion of last year, but also a lot of six-day experience for Claudio Imhoff. And he's joined by the teenager Campbell Parrish from Canada, wearing the red number 6. Brings us to team number 5. Denis Rugovac finished in 8th place in the Olympic Madison race this year in Paris. And he's got Jan Vonis, a Czech rider, 23 years of age. It's his partner with the beard and the red number 5 on his kit. And then team number 4, as we've already seen, Viviani and Simone Consoni. Physically very similar, aren't they? Both small riders. Were it not for that moustache and the different colours on their bike, they'd be quite hard to tell apart.
Yeah, and one of the best pairings in the world, actually. These two have come here. They've come here to play. They have come here to play.
Absolutely. So team 3. Frank Longstaff and Rhys Britton. Rhys Britton wearing the black number 3 there, partnered by Frank Longstaff with the red number 3. Rhys Britton, a silver medalist in the World Championship Team Pursuit this year, part of the GB outfit. As we move on to some big names, Alex Dowsett, of course, retired from the road now with the red number 2 on, and Owain Doull, himself an Olympic gold medalist at the Rio Games in the Team Pursuit, as his partner. So Dowsett and Doull, a powerful duo in Team 2. And then we've got the reigning European champions in the Madison discipline, and in Roger Kluger, we've also got a world Madison champion. Kluger is wearing the black number 1, 38 years of age now. Also very, very experienced on the road, but a brilliant track rider, especially in the Madison. And Theo Reinhardt, 34 years of age. They are the reigning European champions. But this is the team that leads the standings going into Saturday night. It is team number 9, Yuri Harvik, wearing the black number 9 and with the white helmet on the inside of the track. 24 years of age now, Ben Wiggins, son of Sir Bradley. And Matt, you've been watching Ben Wiggins over the last couple of years and working with him to some extent as well. Very different kind of rider from his father.
Yeah, definitely. He's obviously just come out of juniors, world champion in the Madison last year as a junior, and is finding his way as a road rider. First year at under 23s, and looking to follow his father's path as a professional road career in the coming years.
Bradley Wiggins was here to watch his son in action during the afternoon. I'll keep my eye out to see whether he'll be joining us again this evening. I suspect he will, because he is taking a keen interest in this developing career of his young son. As we get our first attack straight away on this half-hour Madison chase to get proceedings underway, and it's the Danish pairing, and it's Robin Skivild from team number 7 who goes on the offensive. Now they've got no one going with him, but he's opened up a gap straight away. Remember, if you gain a lap, you take a lap, you put your nose in front in the race, and you also take 20 points.
We saw this yesterday, the first minute of the first session of racing. A couple of teams lit it up, and again we've seen a very, very aggressive start to our first chase of the evening.
Yep. No hesitation from the Danes at all, affecting their first change as well, going off in sole pursuits. They've got about half a lap now, but it is a long track to take a lap, this, isn't it, London? It's not like a tight 6-day track like Ghent. This is a long lap.
Yeah, it's a big difference between those 160, 180 metre tracks and the Olympic standard distance of 250.
Got Team 12 and Team 10 going off the front as well, and if those 3 teams get together, it might be a little bit easier. The Danes just sitting up perhaps and relenting as they effect another swap. It's almost as if these 3 teams, Matt, who've gone off the front could do with working together. At the moment we've got 3 isolated pairings, and they're still stuck a little bit, Matt, a half a lap behind the bunch.
Yeah, they're certainly doing it the hard way. Our Danish pairing is making good inroads.
Yep.
But the other 2 teams are just lagging a little bit behind. But if the Danish pair push on here and we see a little bit of a hesitation for the bunch, they will regroup.
Skivild it is, who might just take it all the way. You can see Finbo just going past. This is the pairing who are chasing. 12 and 10 who've got themselves together. So those 2 teams are working well together. And the Danes very nearly making the junction ahead of them. You can see that red jersey just coming into the shot now. And it's going to be Finbo who makes the junction, and the Danes take a lap. So Team 7 take a lap.
No, that was a good move. It was straight from the blocks, but they managed to lap the field in probably under 10 laps there. So the effort was a tough one, but well worth the effort.
Yeah, 12 and 10, done the sensible thing here. I think Team 12 just waited, aware that Team 10 were trying the same tactic. Those two teams now working well together as we get a couple more attacks going off the front of the bunch.
Yeah, one thing we saw last night as well is every time a pairing was about to make contact to the back of the group, we saw a very aggressive teams launching off the front. It was just a continuous effort of attack, chase for the duration of these 30-minute chases.
Nonetheless, despite how active it is at the front of the bunch again, Team 10 and 12 are very nearly there. You're looking at those two teams that have just gone off the front there. Team 5 represented, and Team 10 and 12 just dangling off the back of the bunch. There they are. You can just see the back of the bunch that they've got to latch onto to take the lap. And they're going to close the gap any minute now. It's going to be Team 10 who make the junction. So 10 and 12 take a lap too. 3 teams now with a lap. So there they are, 10 and 12. Getting back in, drawing breath after that big effort. And we've got 3 teams off the front now, and the best part of, what, a third of the lap off the front as well.
Yeah, it looks like the Italians are sort of stuck in the middle there, and it looks like the Italian team is easing up and going back to the bunch because they're not going to make it across on their own.
So here is this next attack off the front, and it's Team 2, 5 and 3. We've got Owen Dool in Team 2, in the middle of that trio of riders. Now they've got around about half a lap. And again, Elia Viviani on the front of the bunch, just almost threatening to launch a counter-attack, but just setting a high pace nonetheless. It's going to be hard work for these 3 teams.
Yeah, this time the bunch hasn't eased up. The pace has been pushed on by the Italians especially, and they're stuck there at half a lap. But the 3 teams out front are cooperating well, but so is the bunch.
4.5 minutes or so raced now. When we get to 10 minutes, we will get the first of the sprints. Yeah, it's interesting, this tactic that the Italians are using at the front of the bunch. They're just keeping the pace high, aren't they?
They are, and it's just not giving the teams behind a chance to move up, but the teams sitting behind them are quite content. But whether that's to make sure that these 3 teams chasing have a hard work to get across, it's certainly worked because they've been out there for at least 10 laps now.
Making inroads into that gap now. Shouldn't be too long before the next 3 teams take a lap. Still it's the Italians working on the front though, along with Team 6 and Team 1. Roger Kluger about to share the work, but no more than around about 30 metres to make up now for the 3 teams who are hoping to join Team 7, 10 and 12 and taking a lap. Here they come. Not quite there. Very nearly there, but not quite.
Yep. Just dodging their way through traffic here to make it to the back of the group.
And there they are. So 5, 3 and 2. That makes it 6 teams who have taken a lap. 10 teams who have yet to take a lap, including the teams who are now stretching it out on the front. Team 8, the Dutch team. And that's Reinhardt as well. Team 1, the European Madison champions. And now we see Ben Wiggins' team with Juri Havik. So Wiggins is going with this move from Team 1. Team 1 and Team 9.
Yeah, if it's anything like last night's or even this afternoon session, these Madisons have just been relentless.
Attacking from the gun. The 4 teams off the front now have yet to take a lap. So it could be that we'll find a situation where every single one of the 16 teams fairly soon does take a lap, and then we're kind of like as you were heading for the first sprint. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and as we speak, it looks like the bunch has propped a little bit here, and these 4 teams out front are cooperating well, which bodes well for them to slip across, join the lap, and carry on.
So it's Team 9, 8, 11 and 1. And at the front of the bunch. It's the Italians taking the responsibility of keeping the pace high once more. Team who sits in second place, and this is a kind of slightly dicey moment for the Italian team, Team 4, isn't it? Consoni and Viviani, because their most immediate threat in the general classification, they're off the front in that quartet of riders, Team 9.
Yeah, and if Havoc and Wiggins do take a lap here, that will put them put them 2 laps in front.
Will indeed. And they're getting there as well. It's a number of different teams sharing the work on the bunch, but it has eased up a little bit. And it looks as if the peloton, if we're going to call it that, the bunch are resigned to the fact that these 4 teams are going to get across fairly soon. In fact, they're coming in fast now, as you can see down the back straights. And it won't be long before we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 4, 10 teams who will have taken a lap. So 11, 1, 9 and 8 take laps as well. Now then, how are the Italians going to deal with this? Because they are under pressure, and there's the response. And it comes from Elia Viviani. Following a move there, trying to get onto the wheels.
Yeah, and a good time to attack, because 2 of the stronger teams, the Germans and Havoc and Wiggins, just arrived at the back of the bunch, so they are getting a little bit of recovery, trying to rest up, and it's a good time to push on and try to take another lap.
Simone Consoni taking over. Team 10, who've already taken a lap in that first series of attacks, and Team 15, plus Team 12. So Team 10 and Team 12, who've already taken a lap, they've got representation in this next quartet of riders who've gone off the front. There's Team 10, and the kit at the black, Team 12. Watch out for those 2 teams. Cholarski is the rider on the front, doing the work with the black number 10 on his back, and then it's Ambrose Parrish in that multicoloured, rather lurid Team 15, who hands over to his teammate Will Gilbank. Got half a lap here, haven't they, Matt?
Yeah, the 4 teams out front there just have become a little bit disjointed there with a couple of changes through traffic, but when they do get back together, they have been cooperating well, so all is looking good there for these 4 teams to make contact.
It won't be too much longer before the lap counter gets illuminated and we start to count down 10 laps for the first of the intermediate sprints as well. There'll be 5 sprints in this 30-minute Madison chase. So it looks like Team 4, the Italian team, will get their lap. But in terms of this as an individual event, as an individual Madison chase, it's very much advantage Team 10 and Team 12 as things stand. And they're the 2 teams who'll close the gap, make the junction, and they take a lap each. They're now 2 laps up. And for Team 4 and Team 15 also take a lap now. So I'm trying to think of teams who haven't taken a lap, and there aren't many left. I think Team 16 are yet to take a lap. So 40 laps remain at this point, but we're counting down now 8.5 laps until the first intermediate sprint as more attacks come off the front. And there we go, Team 6, Team 16 and Team 14. Team 5 scrabbling to get across and make it another 4-rider or 4-team move off the front.
Oh, and what we've seen, Ned, is we have teams, races within races here. Some teams' tactics are all about taking the lap. They might not be the fastest appearing, and they really put a big effort in taking the laps. We get some gains of 20 points. And other teams are a little bit more confident of their sprinting ability, and a lot of those teams wait until the last 40 laps because there is these sprints every 10 laps, and obviously the double point sprint at the end.
So as you rightly pointed out, Matt, Team 9 go into the general classification standings a lap ahead, a lap up on their nearest rivals, Team 4. Both those teams have taken a lap so far in the Madison chase, and therefore Team 4 is still 1 lap down on the pairing of Harvick and Wiggins, looking to rectify that situation. So a lot in play. It is a little bit like stage racing, a little bit, well, it's not really like the Tour de France, but let's use that analogy. We've got the battle for the stage, we've got the battle for the individual race in itself, this first Madison Chase, but also we've got the overall general classification to think about over 3 days of racing. It's a complicated picture.
Yeah, it is. It's an ever-changing environment. As we see, our four breakaway teams are making good inroads. They are really making good inroads as we approach countdown for 2 and a bit laps to go for our next sprint.
Yeah, they're coming in pretty fast. And when they get back into the bunch, of course, then we kind of reset in terms of the sprint, and they will comfortably at this pace get back in the bunch before, well, I think they will, although there's only 2 laps to go, so at the moment they still have the front of the race. So if we get to the sprint, team 16 will win the sprint. That's the front of the race as they take the bell. And it looks like those sprint points are going to go to the 4 riders at the front of the bunch.
Yeah, actually,
of the breakaway.
Perfect timing actually, because they can mop up these sprints here and then join the back of the group and double their advantage. A great win from our yellow team, team number 16, who were very impressive last night as well.
So, in the meantime, just down the back straight, as Team 16 and Team 5 get across, leaving 6 and 14 still to get back into the bunch, which we'll do very soon. We've got another counter-attack coming off the front of the bunch and down the back straight, just out of the shot there, we can see them there, and it is Team 9 and Ben Wiggins who goes up the boards, drops down again and latches onto the wheel of Reinhardt, and one of the riders from Team 11 as well. So 3 riders off the front. And again, Viviani and Team 4 keeping the pace high in the bunch.
And again, this has been a very good move. They went just as the other group came around to lap them for the intermediate sprint, and they're making very good inroads in taking a quick lap, which a quick lap's a good lap.
These 3 teams actually cooperated when they took their first lap as well, so it's the second time these 3 teams have actually been in a move off the front of the bunch. And yeah, they're getting this job done very fast at the moment, aren't they?
They are.
Which is optimal. Conserve as much energy as you can, take as, in inverted commas, as cheap a lap as you can afford to, and then get ready to do battle again. In fact, Roger Kluger, who's such a powerful athlete, shuts that down, hands over to Reinhardt, and Reinhardt's imminently, with Ben Wiggins on his wheel, will get back into the bunch, and Team 11, 1 and 9 take another lap. We've got 6 teams now, all on 2 laps in this Madison Chase. Teams 10, 12, 5, 11, 1 and 9. Now we look for a response from Team 4 in particular, I think. Last time, Matt, when Team 9 took a lap, they didn't hang around, they responded pretty quickly.
No, they did. They did. It looks like at the moment those 3 teams who did take that lap are having a little bit of a spell. But I dare say it won't be long before we see another big move off the front from one of the other teams. Actually, and as we speak, here's a big move from Team 16.
Yep.
Our British pairing.
Will Perrett. Big move. He came from a long way back there, didn't he? Oh, veering up the banking just to get out of the way of that rider from Team 15. And Will Perrett, slightly hampered by that. He's already gone pretty deep, even to try and break the elastic. Team 7 going with him. And on the home straight, Will Perrett has got his teammate, Tidbull, who pretty soon he's going to throw into the race with fresher legs. Here we go, the change is coming up on the back straight. Where's that yellow jersey? There he is. So a well-timed change over there, and Team 7 as well, also throwing fresh legs into this venture. And these 2 teams, well, I was going to say off the front, but look at this. Simone Consonni brings Team 8 and Team 2, Alex Dowsett, across to this attack.
Yeah, the Italians reacted quite quickly when they saw our Danish and our British pair move before. So now we have 5 leading teams out front there with a good little margin as the bunch props a little bit here. So they'll be looking to push on.
Yeah, 5 teams, as you say, Matt. Team 4, 7, 16, 8 and 2. All of these teams have already taken a lap. In terms of the overall picture, the most notable team is the team in blue there, with Elia Viviani in the race at the moment, looking for the hand of Simone Consoni. And on the track, they've got over half a lap, or just about half a lap, to make up.
And they've been cooperating well, these 4 teams out front.
Just to explain, if you're watching Madison racing for the first time, what you must do, one of the most important rules in the whole of the race, Matt, is you've got to go over the top of a pair who are changing, haven't you?
Always, yes. Never go underneath. Never go underneath. So as you approach a change or as you approach riders fading, it's always over the top.
It looks incredibly complicated, but these experienced riders, they just do it on pure instinct. Don't even think about what they're doing. They feel the flow, they read the flow of the race, and it's absolutely incredible how seldom they come to grief in all this chaos. Floating through this congested bunch on this track. And this group of 5 different teams, as the bunch just slows up, get across. So, another lap taken for Team 4, Team 7, Team 16, Perrit and Tidball, the Dutch team, Team 8, and Team 2 also take a second lap. So leading the way at the moment in terms of the points tally is Team 5, and they've got a rider on the front at the moment, that's Vonesh, the Czech rider. They are on 3 points and they have taken 2 laps, but I think if those scores get updated, that situation might change a little bit. Yeah, it does. There we go. Team 16, Tidball and Perrit, they have now, courtesy of taking that second lap, moved into the lead as things stand in the Madison Chase, taking the maximum points at that first intermediate sprint, and now taking 2 laps as well. I hope it's making sense to you at home. As Team 11 launch off the front of the bunch, followed by Team 1.
There is a lot going on, and as we see our European champions, our German pairing, closely followed by our Havoc and Wiggins, are pushing on.
Rugov and Vonesh as well, Team 5 in the light blue, following the wheel of Yuri Havik of Team 9, trying to get across, or at least neutralise this attack from Team 11.
We've got 39 laps to go in our first chase of the evening.
And there'll be sprints every 10 laps, I think I'm right in saying, all the way to the end. And the final sprint, if you like, when they come over the finish line for the last time, you can double the points as well. It's 5 points for all the intermediate sprints. At the finish line, it's 10. So, Rugov and Vonesh, Team 5. Rugovac, I should say, and Vonesh. Rugovac it is doing the work on the front, and they are slowly but surely coming back to Team 11. So Team 11 invested a lot in that attack. No one went with them. They were dangling off the fronts, and the bunch is coming back to them, and they've been shut down.
Yeah, and I think that's going to hurt as well.
Yeah.
It was a big effort for little gain, and just especially now as we approach our sprints, because the pace will increase and stay on.
5 laps to go until the sprint.
Yeah, and there's a couple of teams have been laying low in this first half and 2/3 of the chase there, and you'll see a couple of the teams with sprint-friendly riders in there pop up now and look to take some sprints.
Yeah, watch out for Perrit, Will Perrit, and the yellow kit of Team 16 as well. As Owen Dool moves up in the light blue of Team 2 with a white helmet. But there we go, Yuri Havik has launched off the front for Team 9.
That is good timing. 3 laps out from our first sprint.
Yeah, perfect handover as well. There's Ben Wiggins. Now Havik moves up. Will Wiggins try and take this all the way to the sprint? He's got 2.5 laps off the front, if that's going to be the case.
Yeah, they're committed. They are committed for this one.
So Ben Wiggins, long way to go, and they are hunting him down. It's Team 11, Team 10 coming at him now to try and peg back the young Briton, and he does look round. Can he make this stick? He'll take the bell here. It's going to hurt this one for Ben Wiggins. Can he hold on to take the 5 points at the line? It looks like that gap might be too hard to close, and there's Yuri Havik. Perfect timing, flings in the Dutchman. They're chasing him hard, but it's going to be in vain. So Yuri Havik will take the sprint and take 5 points.
Yeah, that effort certainly hurt Ben Wiggins, but it was worth it.
Yep.
Picking up the maximum there of 5 points.
Smart racing that, Matt. Perfectly timed. It's sensing those moments as well when the bunch is just going to ease off a little bit to allow you to attack, because you can't attack off a high pace, can you? There's no point.
No, you can't force the pace there. Once these guys are wound up, it's very hard to gain any separation. So you've got to pick your moments well.
Watch out for Elia Viviani coming over the top now. That blue jersey of Team 4, sitting on the wheels now, following the move of Roger Kluger, trying to get on the wheel of the big German. Kluger, so powerful, launches off the front, and when he goes, the veteran, I think you'd have to call him a veteran as well, finds his teammate there, the European champions, blasting away from the front of the bunch. Impressive riding.
No, fresh off winning his 3rd World Madison Championship last weekend in Copenhagen.
Yeah. In between rounds, when he strips off his kit here, you can see him walking around track centre with those rainbow bands that he wears by rights, but he's wearing his European Championship jersey in the company of Reinhardt's. And they've opened up, well, that team has opened up a gap of almost half a length.
Yeah, it's a big move, but I think it's, again, good timing. 4 laps out from our next intermediate sprint, and they have got good enough gap here to take this one, I think.
Combination of different teams sharing the work, the Team 4, Team 5, Team 8, but it looks like they're resigned to losing these 5 points now, and they'll be battling amongst themselves, if you like, for the minor placings. There are 5, 3, 2 and 1 points at each intermediate sprint. 3 laps to go though for the Germans, and they'll push on as well and try and take a lap.
Yeah, it looks that way. They have made very good inroads. 100% they're going to take these points, and they are fast approaching what would be an incredible solo lap. We've seen most of our laps this evening go in pairs or teams of more than 2, but this is a big effort going solo.
I tell you what though, Matt, it seems absolutely certain they're going to take the 5 points here, and then it seems pretty certain they're going to take a lap as well, and with just 20 laps to go, Team 1 are going to be almost impossible to catch here at this point, aren't they? And they will move as the only team to have taken 3 laps into sole command of this Madison chase.
Yeah, look, they came in here as one of the favourites, and they're showing us why. It's not easy taking a lap at any time in these chases, but to do it solo in the pointy end of the race is it's a big effort, but it looks like it's going to pay off as they approach the back end of the bunch.
Yeah. Front end of the bunch just accelerated for the minor placings at the intermediate sprint. It was Simone Consonni who went over the line in 2nd place from the bunch, followed by one of the riders from Team 9. And for that reason, the bunch just accelerated a bit, but they've eased up. And as you can see, the white jersey there just hands over, and it's going to be Reinhardt who takes this one home, and Reinhardt who makes the junction to the back of the bunch, and that is it. Team 1 now move clear by 1 lap of the whole field.
No, brilliant move from our German pairing.
Now, can anyone respond? There are, 10, 11 other teams who could get back in the fray, but they'd have to take a lap, and they'd have to do it quick. The laps are ticking down fast. Just 16 remain. The Germans will now flip their tactics, Matt, and go into defensive mode, won't they?
They will. I think they'll look to recover over these next 10 laps, and then I wouldn't be surprised if they'd line up for the double points sprint at the end.
Roger Kluger in around about 12th place in the bunch at the moment, just trying to recover a little bit and get ready for the final 10 or so laps and try and sniff out the opportunity to add more points to his points tally. But this is a win, if it does go their way, that will have consequences in the general classification as well. They will move up a lap relative to a lot of the other teams at the top end, and they'll be right in the GC fray. if they can hold on to this advantage. There you are, the information top left on your screen. Confirmation that Kluger and Reinhardt's Team 1 are the only team clear by 1 lap. And there are 12 laps remaining as they come around the home straight now. And the next attack comes from Team 8 and Team 16 as well. Now, if Will Tidwell and Will Perrott, Team 16, working with Team 8 here, can do something pretty special here, heading towards this next intermediate sprint with 10 laps to go and take a lap, then everything could change. And they've broken the elastic and they've got a little bit of a gap. But there's a lot of teams who'll be invested in keeping an eye on them here.
Yeah, definitely, Ned. I think it's now or never for the lap. And look, they've just swung up the track.
Yeah.
They've just swung up. So they're happy with their points haul, but they're not going to risk it, and they're going to go back to the group, I think.
All of which means, if that's the case, let's just see which of this pairing, whether it's 16 or 8 who got the points. I've got a feeling it was 16 who hung on for the points, was it? It's tight. Oh, yeah, I think just about. Team 16 claimed those 5 points. Let's have a look at this angle. Yeah. Not much in it.
No.
5 points, though, to Team 16. And you're right, Matt. Time has run out, I think, for anybody to take a lap, which means that barring accidents or something miraculous, looks pretty certain that Team 1 are going to take this Madison chase.
Yep, a well-deserved victory, actually. The well-deserved victory.
But
there is still double points up for grabs. And even teams who have had a quiet chase so far, if they can just win this last sprint of the session, it will move them up considerably in the standings.
Well, between the top 2 in the general classification, Team 9 and Team 4, it will leave them in a similar situation to how they came into this, separated by 1 lap and pretty close to one another in terms of points tally. But that's all that's on offer now, just improving the points tally for all the other teams who don't have a big number 1 on their back, because the European champions have, well, delivered a death blow to the hopes of all the other teams hoping to win this opening race of the evening. Masterful riding from the Germans, who put themselves right back in the GC hunt for the overall victory here.
Yeah, it has. I think the Italians are positioning themselves very well for this double point sprint, sitting very comfortably in second place. And I keep a good eye on team number 9 of Havoc and Wiggins, also moving up on the last lap here to put the Italians and other teams under pressure for the double points.
Yeah, Yuri Havik just dropping into 5th place there in that black kit with that light blue helmet. Simone Consoni, his big rival there, Team 4, just sitting on the wheel there of the rider on the front. He's from Team 12. 2 laps to go. Consoni handily placed, but when this rider from Team 12 pulls up, Consoni will be on the front, which is probably not where he wants to be with everyone lined up on his wheel as Ben Wiggins drops in. Havik just handing over to Ben Wiggins. A little bit congested on the track now as they take the bell. It's Elia Viviani for Team 4. He's going to open up his sprint. He's going to have to come round the long way here, but he's got such an electrifying kick. Elia Viviani, has he got enough there to take the maximum 10 points? Big charge! Big charge. It's Team 11, actually, who get there. And they take the 10 points, denying Team 4 the maximum haul of points. But the victory in the Madison chase goes to Team 1.
That was an impressive turn of speed from our Belgian pairing here. He's overtaken 4 riders down the outside to roll them at the death there. That was a very impressive.
De Velder it was, with an amazing turn of speed on the outside to deny Team 4. So he takes the final the final sprint at the line. But it wasn't Team 11 who won the race. It was Team 1, courtesy of their 3 laps taken. The only team to have done that. That was good stuff, Matt. I enjoyed that. If that's a taste of how things are going to play out this evening, we're in for a treat.
No, it was, and as expected, very aggressive, straight from the start. But we certainly seen our usual suspects dominate the Madison this evening with our German pairing, our Italian pairing, and our mixed pairing of Havoc and Wiggins as well.
Here's the final sprint once more. Half a wheel in the end for De Velder. Getting the job done. Lindsay De Velder, the reigning World Omnium champion. The reigning European champions take the Madison chase. Now, each individual event here carries a different points tally in the general classification. Winning a Madison Chase earns your team the maximum 30 points added to their tally, and Matt, they take another lap back, don't they? So they started the day 2 laps down on the leaders, they're now 1 lap down. Just toweling down, much more work to be done.
No, it is an intense evening, Ned. You know, these guys and girls are going to line up 4 times at least tonight. Intense racing, maximum 30 minutes, but regardless, it's there's a lot of action happening, and they off the track now, towel down, recover, and they're back on in 10 to 15 minutes.
So Roger Kluge on the right, Theo Reinhardt, the fellow powerfully built German, both in their mid to late 30s, but riding as well as ever. Real exhibition stuff there from the Germans.
No, the Germans have a lot of experience racing with each other, have won world titles together, and both in the twilight of their career, but they showed their experience here this evening with the way they're tactically astute riding.
Is Roger Kluge still riding on the road, or has he knocked it on the head, Matt?
He still rides on the road for fitness at continental level, but not in the top echelon.
Dropped out of World Tour, hasn't he?
He has a couple of years now. His big goal this year was obviously the Olympic Games there, and then the World Championships, where he come away with his 3rd world title last weekend.
It's not bad haul for a 38-year-old, and they win the Madison Chase to open the 3rd session here on Saturday nights in the Lee Valley VeloPark. Kluge and Reinhardt then. 3 laps taken, 5 points to them, the honours, and 30 points to add to their general classification tally. So we should, I think, be able to hear from them with Lauren Smith.
Roger, you're in London, you've just taken the first event of the weekend, and you do so having come off the back of a World Championship win, and your first in 5 years. How special the last few weeks been?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, becoming 3rd-time world champion was a little bit of a surprise, even if we're always aiming for. But I'm happy. Actually, I would be happy to represent it, but I'm here with my European champion, and I'm also proud to showing the European stars and stripes.
And you're doing so well. You and Roger, you've been partnership for a number of years, most recently at the European Championships. How much fun are you having just doing this together again?
Yeah, a lot. We are a bit like brothers, so we had a lot of fun to ride our bikes, especially together, and that's it.
You guys have the experience, smooth operators, and when you're looking at the general classification, I'm sure you have the technical know-how of what you need to do over these next few sessions. So what's the game plan?
That's a secret.
Okay, we're keeping things secret for the moment. Gents, we'll see you obviously in a couple of minutes. Go relax, go recover. Thank you so much.
Well, interestingly, Matt, that's the first event so far at London 3-Day they've won, which is something of a surprise, isn't it? It's the 4th men's Madison Chase over Friday and Saturday, and they haven't won one up until this one, but they are right in the hunt now. As you can see, they've moved up to 4th place. They're 1 lap down. They're on 107 points. Harvick and Wiggins still lead the way. Very tight on points between Team 9 and Team 4, but crucially, Harvick and Wiggins have a lap.
Yeah, it is, Ned. But there is only 6 points separating 1st and 4th place and 1 lap. So it is, we're halfway through the 3-day event, but you can throw a blanket over those top teams.
So Harvick and Wiggins still in control of the men's general classification as we switch our attention now to the women. And it's going to be the women's Madison Chase raced. Well, the first of the Madison Chases for the women this evening is 20 minutes long. And the final one will be 30 minutes long. So this is the shorter, sharper affair. And we're about to get the teams introduced to us here. And we've had a slight bit of readjustment, actually. One of the teams has had to withdraw. The reason being that Francesca Hall has withdrawn from the competition, leaving Robin Clay of Team 16 without a partner. Now, actually, that has come at an opportune moment because yesterday, and you were here to see it, Katie Archibald suffered a bit of a freak injury, didn't she, actually riding off the track, meaning that she can't continue with the programme, leaving Nia Evans without a partner. So actually, as it happens, Robin Clay has switched teams, Matt, from Team 16 that is no longer in the competition, and she will be partnering Nia Evans for Team 2 now.
Yeah, which is good because it means that the two teams don't have to pull out, and we can have a combination that will pair up for the rest of the 3-day event.
Okay, Team 15 of Lucy Nelson with the black number, and Nora Tveit, the Norwegian rider, just 21 years of age for Team 15. Team 14 there, Maddie Leach in the red in the inside, and Sophie Lewis, the all-British pairing. Lewis looked very strong in the afternoon competition. Team 14. We'll move on to Team 13 then. That green jersey, and again the red number on the inside, that's Mia Griffin, 25 years of age, the overall winner of the Rasna Mban, which I have probably pronounced horribly, an Irish stage race, on the road. So a versatile rider. And Alice Sharp, 5 years her senior, 30 years of age, Team Pursuit silver medalist in the UCI Nations Cup in Hong Kong this year, so some real track pedigree for Alice Sharp. Team 12 in the black jerseys. It's an all-German pairing of Marlin Nicole and Zygmunt. Both these riders 21 years of age. That's Zygmunt in the black with the black number on the inside of the track with a hand in the air, and Fabienne Jährich, also 21 years of age, a silver medalist in the under-23 Berlin 6-day this year. Moving on to the team in red, Team 11. Isabella Escalada, under-23 European Madison bronze medalist last year. Spanish rider, a former national individual pursuit champion with the black number 11. And Sibylle Schneider, the German, 28 years of age, the Swiss, 28 years of age, national time trial championship contender. She's a time trialist on the road, is Sibylle Schneider. Team 10 in the red and white, Karolina Karachvik, 32 years of age with the black number on the outside. Inside her, Polish rider Nicole Ploszaj. So two Polish riders in the red and white of Team 10 appropriately.
Yeah, they were an impressive pairing last night. We'll see what they're capable of this evening.
Moving on to Team 9. And we've got an American, Colleen Gulick, 33 years of age with the red numbers, smiling from ear to ear and enjoying herself, and a Canadian. So all North American pairing of Fiona Magendi and Colleen Gulick. Now then, very special rider in the making, going to be introduced to this home crowd here in London. With the red number 8 on the outside, the 18-year-old, the youngest rider here, Kat Ferguson, a 4-time World Junior Champion in 2024. Junior Time Trial Champion, Junior Road Race Champion, Junior Omnium Champion, and part of the Junior Team Pursuit Champion. And she's partnered by the slightly more experienced Juliet Eekhoff, a Dutch National Omnium Champion. But Kat Ferguson, one of the hot prospects, not just in women's racing, but in racing full stop.
Yeah, definitely one of the future stars of our sport.
Absolutely.
Very, very versatile as well across the track, road and cyclocross.
And a real stylist on the bike as well. Looks very good. The Danish pairing here of, well, actually half Danish, half Italian pairing of Amalie Winter Olsen, 30 years of age, a 4-time Danish national champion on the track with the black number, and Francesca Selva, the 25-year-old Italian rider, her partner. As we move on to Team 6. The black number, it's the Swiss Alina Zeitz, 27 years of age, and inside her, Michelle Andres. Team 6 in the white jersey. All Czech pairing of Team 5. The taller of the two riders, the younger of the two riders with the red number 5 is Veronika Bartonikova. The slightly smaller of the two, 24-year-old Hanna Rugovac. And her brother, of course, Denis Rugovac, is competing in the men's competition for Team 5 as well. As we move on to Team 4. And in the women's competition, Team 4 is an all-British affair. In the red, it's Miriam Jessett, the British national Derny paced champion of 2024, and young Scottish talent Eilidh Shaw, just 19 years of age, the Scottish national road race champion of last year. Moving on to Team 3, and experience and youth, all German affair. With the black number, it's Franziska Brauser, just 25 years of age, but a World Championship Team Pursuit silver medalist this year for Germany. And Romy Kaspar, who took the Derny race this afternoon at 36 years of age. Very experienced rider with the red number on her back. 2 more teams to be introduced. So this is this cobbled together pairing. Nia Evans, 34 years of age, prodigious talent, very, very decorated, very familiar to this home crowd. Should have been paired with Katie Archibald, her fellow Scots, but finds herself now riding with Robin Clay, who's swapped from Team 16, who last year won the Lincoln International Grand Prix and has got some good results on the road, switching her attention to the track here for 3-day London. And finally, all-Italian pairing of Team 1, Vittoria Guazzini, 23 years of age, with the black number, and Chiara Consoni, another Consoni, the younger sister of Simone Consoni, Giro stage winner on the roads and a World Championship Team Pursuit bronze medalist on the track, as well as being the Olympic Madison champion. Chiara Consoni, really talented rider on the track, and she drops down onto the racing line as we are about to get their 20-minute Madison race underway. So far we have had wins for Team 1, Team 2 and Team 3 in the 3 Madison chases so far. Who's it going to go to today? Now, women's Madison chase this afternoon, Matt, was a little bit more cagey than the men. I wonder if we'll see the same pattern here. It took a while before anybody ventured an attack.
Yeah, it was. A few of the key teams were marking each other out. But with this shorter chase this evening, it will be interesting how aggressive it does develop.
Little reminder of how things stand in the general classification. For the women, it is Team 1 who head the standings of Guazzini and Consoni. They're a lap up on everybody else. Team 14 are in second place, Lewis and Leach. They're 1 lap down, but have a higher points tally. And then there is a bit of a gap, actually. Brauser and Kasper, the German pairing. Team 3, they're 2 laps down. And then we've got 3 teams at 3 laps down. So Guazzini and Consoni with their noses in front in the general classification. Team 1, the team to beat, I suspect.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely showed their dominance last night and also in the afternoon session, and they are the team to beat.
So if I've got my calculations right, there'll be 4 sprints, 3 intermediate sprints and a sprint for the line in this 20-minute Madison race. We'll have the first of the sprints around about 10 minutes into the race, a halfway point. Nobody yet venturing an attack. The bunch tightly packed, the pace moderate. And off this moderate pace, the opportunity is there for a team or a couple of teams to try something here. Nia Evans right on the shoulder of the big rival there, Team 1. Nia Evans going the long way round in the blue, just trying to avoid all that traffic. Very congested on the track here, isn't it, Matt? Cagey.
Yeah, it is. When you have 16 riders, there is always a lot of traffic to avoid. But it has been a very moderate start to this chase.
And funnily enough, when the pace is slow, that's when the congestion is almost worse, isn't it? When it's all stretched out, it's easier to navigate.
Yeah, definitely.
So a slight injection of pace there from Team 14. Just opens things up a little bit and stretches it out just a tad on the front. Pace just going up a notch. Still nothing resembling an attack. But a few laps at really delicate pace. Now you just sense that one or two teams are itching to pull the trigger here. I wonder if Team 3 might be the first to attack. It looks like they might be over the top, and this looks like it's the first move coming round the top here. Team 3, I thought they might be, and it is Brauser who goes on the offensive. So Franziska Brauser of Team 3, the German, and that opens things up now, and the racing can begin in earnest.
Yeah, we see the orange team, Team 8, straight onto it there, followed closely by the Italians, and then our British combination.
Yeah, it's an inhibiting factor, isn't it, having the Italian team there, Team 1, in that gold and multicoloured Olympic-themed kit. Their presence in that group means that perhaps the cooperation to ride with them won't quite be there. Team 8 find themselves with the problem of having Consoni and Guazzini in this move as well.
And I'll be interested to see how the Italians do take up tonight, because they have got a good lead. They are the favourites, and they are leading by a lap. Whether they have a conservative approach to this evening's events, or they do take it by the scruff of the neck and actually try to really force their dominance.
Well, they did a big turn on the front just there. I think, was that Consoni? Yeah, it was. Chiara Consoni just slots onto the back, and it looks like the other teams are prepared to ride and work with them now. So we've got 5 teams off the front. Team 4 among the teams trying to just keep an eye on this 5-team move that's gone off the front. Team 3, Team 8, Team 1, Team 2.
Yeah, as we see, the pace has gone out of the bunch a little bit here. So if these 5 teams out front do cooperate, we're going to see them make good inroads on the bunch, because the pace has totally gone out of the group behind at the moment.
Yep. Very quickly they take half a lap and extend that beyond half a lap now. So if nothing changes on the front, this is going to be 5 teams taking a lap very quickly. Now, by my reckoning, the team who've really missed this move is Team 14, who started this race in 2nd place. They haven't got representation off the front of the bunch. And they're actually doing the riding on the front of the bunch now, just to make this a little bit more difficult. But there's enough firepower in this chase group, and they're working well together. All these 5 teams committed to doing their part, doing their turn, to give them all a lap here. Shouldn't be too long before they get there. Team 9 as well among them.
Fast approaching the back of the group as we speak. These 5 teams are nearly making contact. So good move, good cooperation, and just rewards.
So Team 9, 1, 2, 8 and 3 all take a lap and move into control of this race. The opening Madison chase, a 20-minute race for the women, just to get the evening underway. Thrilling race for the men. Brewing up nicely here, the women's competition as well. Italians moving close to the front again, and almost looking as if they're about to threaten to go on the offensive again, but just slotting in as Team 6 and 13 take it up. Both those teams missing out on the original move. Watch out for Team 14 though, of the big favourite teams in that light blue kit, running in 4th place at the moment in the bunch. They're the team to have missed out.
No, and they were impressive last night, Team 14. They really pushed the Italians in a lot of the events. So they didn't miss out there, because that was a pretty crucial lap. A lot of racing still to come, but they wouldn't want to miss any more opportunities.
Could this be an attack? Could this be an attack? It looks like it might be. Yep, off the front now, Team 14, hoping to get clear without any of their nearest rivals. The Italians, for now, prepared to see 2 jerseys going up the roads. Team 15, and actually that's an impressive bit of acceleration there from Team 14, and it's Sophie Lewis who's in cracking form, who opens up a little bit of a gap. There's a counter-attack of 4 teams going with them. And Team 8's trying to get involved as well, and they've already taken a lap. Watch out for the orange jersey that's just fired off the front of the bunch.
There was an impressive turn of speed there from Team 14.
It's Kat Ferguson who's gone off in pursuit there, just coming around the banking onto the back straight. And Kat Ferguson has placed Team 8 potentially in a really strong position here if she gets across to the riders who've attacked off the front. Nearly there. There's that orange jersey, flash of orange coming round. So that makes it 6 teams off the front, and they've got half a lap's advantage.
It's been a big effort from Kat Ferguson, but she has put a team in box position here as the pace goes out of the bunch, and our 6 teams are fast approaching the back of the peloton.
Team 6, 13, Team 14 who kicked it all off. Team 15 are there, Team 8 and Team 11. Those are the 6 teams. But of those, it is only Team 8 who've already taken a lap. That really would put the team in orange in a very strong position in this Madison chase.
We saw a very quick reaction from Kat Ferguson there. The other 5 teams had departed the bunch. She made a big effort to get across, join the back of the combination. As we speak, the teams have made contact and received their extra lap.
So in terms of this as an individual event, that does put Team 8 of Kat Ferguson and Eckhoff into a very strong position. And it was an impressive bit of riding from Kat Ferguson. What was it, a minute's effort or something like that to get the job done, make that junction? Instinctive bit of riding, but very strong as well.
It was nice. I felt sorry for them last night because they rode well, but didn't really have the results to show for it. They missed a couple of moves there, but they were riding very smart last night, and it's great to see them take advantage of the effort they're making in this chase to take the lead in this chase.
Yep, they're a lap up on everybody else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams have taken laps, but Team 8 have taken 2. And we're starting to count down the laps now. The board counter has gone up. When they cross the finish line here, there'll be 37 laps left, and that means there's 7 laps to the first of the intermediate sprints. Top left on your screen, you can see confirmation there that only one team is a lap ahead, and that is Team 8, Eckhoff and Ferguson. So, what happens next? We quite often see the attacks coming with maybe around about now 4, 5, 6 laps to go to the intermediate sprint, and then a group going off the front and taking a lap through the sprint. Are we going to see that this time around? The Italians in control. Team 14 rearing up alongside them. Kat Ferguson looking round on the banking to be thrown in by Eckhoff, her teammate.
Good spotting there. Her teammate was stuck right in the middle of the group.
Yeah. It looks like this probably might stay together through this intermediate sprint. We've only got 3 laps to go until the first intermediate sprint. Chiara Consoni taking it up for Team 1. Guazzini, arguably, maybe has the faster sprint of the 2 Italians, so if that's the case, then Guazzini will be thrown in at the right moment. And she's waiting now as a group of 4 riders just goes off the front a little bit, opens up a bit of a gap. Team 12 scrabbling to get across that gap, but 13, 14, 1 and 6 are off the front, and they're going to take the bell next time around. So here comes Guazzini, but it's Team 14 who really take things up now, and it's Maddie Leach who's going to take the maximum 5 points here, with Team 6 holding on for 2nd place and Team 1 in 3rd place picking up the minor points, Team 13 sweeping up the final points, and now they will continue, Team 1 and 14 in particular, to try and get across.
Yeah, good timing here, because the bunch is under immense pressure. It has split up into multiple groups, as our Italians, Olympic champions, have really gone on with it.
Yep. You're right, the bunch has been absolutely shattered now. It's actually quite hard to work out what the bunch is. The front of the race, though, just coming through the finish line now, and it's Chiara Consoni on the front for Team 1. Sophie Lewis as well going with her, Team 14. Team 6, Team 13 as well. Part of this move, and then a bunch that has no shape or form might all come back together again. The last team in the bunch is the Danish team, Team 7. And that is the jersey that they're aiming at the moment. The 3 or 4 teams off the front going down the back straight.
No, it really is every team for themselves besides these first 4 teams. Scrambling to regroup behind. The Italians are looking very comfortable out front here.
Well, if they get across, then Eckhoff and Ferguson will have to do something in response, because Guazzini and Consoni will retake that lap advantage that Team 8 managed to get, and so too will Team 14 as well. They'll draw level as well, and Lewis and Leach actually going into this have the highest points tally. So if the light blue jerseys of Team 14 can take a lap here, which they look likely to do, although it's not a given, there's still half a lap to make up, as Team 6 have been dropped from that attack group, just leaving 13, 1 and 14.
Yeah, just as I thought, the 3 teams out front were content just to stay out there and take the points. They're actually pushing on and looking like they're going to get the bell here with a clear advantage, and then the best option for them would be after that to try to rejoin the back of the bunch and take the bonus points on top.
Well, the points at the intermediate sprint with 20 laps to go are going to be shared out between Team 13, 14 and 1, that's for sure. Next time they come around the finish line, that's the bunch coming through. Here's the front of the race. They're going to take the bell. 21 laps to go. Next time round, there's an intermediate sprint. And they'll still just about be off the back before they get there. It'll be tight.
Big acceleration from the Italians here, which is a brilliant move, because they're going to wrap up the points.
There's the points. So Consoni gets the points and throws in Guazzini, and she then will do the last couple of pedal revolutions to take the lap as well. But so too do Team 14 and 13 take a lap.
That was a very efficient move from those 3 teams.
So we've got 4 teams now, all on the same lap. Team 1, Team 8, Team 13 and Team 14. Yeah, really smart bit of racing, wasn't it?
It was. You've got to pick your moments, and they certainly picked the right one.
So our calculations suggest, when that leaderboard gets updated, that at the moment, if the race were to finish now, it's Lewis and Leach Team 14 who by 1 slender point have an advantage over Team 1. So all to play for with 2 sprints remaining. As Team 8 go on the offensive again. Eckhoff stretching things out. Just at the moment where Team 14 and Team 1 have done all that work to get across, Team 8 are making it very difficult for the Italian and the British team. But they shut that move down, bring the bunch back again. That didn't work this time, and over the top go Team 2, who we haven't seen much of recently, and it's Nia Evans now opening up a bit of a gap. Shooting off the front down the back straight. But we've still got Team 6 and Team 10, that is the front of the race. Now Team 6 were part of that move with Team 1 and 14, but that's the front of the race there, and it looks like these 2 teams are about to take a lap as well. 6 and 10. It's the first lap that Team 10 will have taken, but Team 6 will now join that clutch of teams who've already taken 2 laps.
Yeah, definitely looks like Team 6 are just making contact as we speak there.
Yep, there we
Team
go.
10 are not quite there yet. They want to get a wriggle on and join the back of the bunch, because there's a group of 4 just in front of the bunch as they get the bell, and the main group will not ease up here.
Yeah, Team 10 haven't quite got there. They might not get there, actually, the pace that the bunch is going at the moment. As we switch our attention perhaps to the sprint at the front of the race there, it's Team 2 who've gone off the front. Team 2 will collect the maximum 5 points there. Team 3, 15. Picking up the minor placings, and Nia Evans then thrown in by her substitute teammate Robin Clay for Team 2 in the absence of Katie Archibald to try and solo off the front to take a lap. But there are 4 teams chasing Team 2. None of the key players here. Team 3 though getting across almost. But Team 1 and 14 are actually taking the responsibility on the front of the bunch of keeping the pace high and making this difficult for these teams off the front. And Matt, the laps are ticking down. There's only 7 laps left. It's going to be very hard for Team 2 and Team 3 to get across here, I think.
Yeah, it will. I think these leading 5 teams the gap they've got at the moment, they should be able to take the double points sprint coming up in 6 and a bit laps. But it's going to be hard to lap the field in a short period.
There they go, 6 laps to go. So if they don't take a lap, then victory will go to Team 14 in the Madison Chase. If they do take a lap, then everything changes, but...
You see this lead group, Ned, approaching Team 10, who had never made it. They never quite got across before.
Oh, you're right. There we are, the Polish team, agonising for them. They were so close. About 5 or 6 bike lengths off the back and never made it, as you rightly observed, Matt. Front of the race, though, goes through the finish line with 4 laps remaining.
It's been an impressive turn of speed from our breakaway group here. We're just making contact now as we speak with 3 laps to go. So
wow, so they do take a lap. And that changes the complexion of everything. That's 4 more teams who have taken a lap. And Team 6 going straight off the front again, heading for the final sprint. 2 laps to go, Team 6 with an attack, Team 14, it's Sophie Lewis going as well, marked all the way by Team 1. So Team 14 and Team 1 here, battling for victory in this opening Madison Chase. That's the front of the race. Team 6, Seitz and Andres, though, joined by Team 1 and Team 14. Look at Team 1, so canny. Chiara Consoni.
Oh, look at these late changes.
Perfectly aligned, but a really good handover there from Team 14. And Team 14 take the race. The opening Madison Chase goes to Team 14. Brilliantly performed, and just a slightly hesitant change from the Italians, and that undid them in that final lap.
It was great timing from Team 14. Not easy to come round another team in the last 200 metres while they are changing, and they did time that last change to perfection and took the maximum double points there in what was a very entertaining first chase of the evening for the women.
So just that slight difference, wasn't there, in those 2 hand slings there, and it made all the difference. Now the question remains, actually, if they'd done a better hand sling, would they actually have been able to out-sprint Team 14 at the line? I don't know, but they made it difficult for themselves, and in the end, it was a very impressive win there for Maddie Leach, getting the job done for Team 14 and taking the opening Madison Chase. In terms of the general classification, I think Team 1 will, when we get a look at it, still be in the lead of the GC, because Team 14 didn't manage to get a lapse advantage. But they are building up a lead in terms of the points over the Italians.
Yeah, I think the big move is in that chase there was our combination, our Dutch and English pairing. Kat Ferguson, very, very impressive, and Juliet Eickhoff.
They really kicked it off, didn't they, by taking that second lap? But a fabulous response, a well-timed response from Team 14. Marked and marking the Italian Team 1 all the way to the finish line there, but frankly outpowering them. Lewis and Leach getting the job done in the opener. That'll do. We've had the first of the Madison Chases, the men and the women. The evening will get rounded off with 2 further Madison Chases. The women first, and then the last event of the evening will be the men's 30-minute Madison Chase. But before that, We've got a real potpourri of different events as we look at our winners there. Teammate.
Yeah, still waiting for the points to be updated there, but
That slightly surprised me, I must admit. But there we go. Eckhoff.
young Dutch rider with an impressive palmares, and then, like we said before, one of the big superstars of our sport, just fresh out of juniors, is Britain's Kat Ferguson, who does ply her trade on the road with the movie star team.
Well, there we go. So I miscounted. They obviously took an extra lap. I do apologise. Unbeknownst to me, they were a lap ahead all along. My apologies. Lewis and Leach relegated to second place in the Madison Chase, and courtesy of that lap taken, Eckhoff and Ferguson take the win and move closer in the GC as well when we get a look at that. Let's have a little word with them with Lauren Smith, who's about to talk to the winning pair.
Ladies, absolutely great ride. Kat, I'm just going to list off your 2024 achievements. World Junior TT Champion, Junior Road Champion, Omnium Champion, and Team Pursuit Champion. They're racking up stage races on the road, and now the London 3-day and taking events as well. Can you even begin to get your head around the success of this year?
No, I'm struggling really. I've had a couple of weeks off in the last month, and yeah, it was really nice to just look back at everything and take it all in.
And you've had a couple of weeks on holiday. You're worried you might not have had the legs. Clearly, that's not to be a worry.
Yeah, I had 2 weeks of surfing in Morocco, so I wasn't sure how my form would be for this. But yeah, I'm really happy I'm here.
Juliet, you have been dominating the track as well in your own field at the national level. To come over to London and to pair it with someone who arguably you haven't known that well, how's the experience been?
Really good. Kat went crazy. She told me her friends are here now, but we gained a lap and directly to go for another one. I was like, no, help. So I think the France is a good reason to go for another lap, but I'm dead.
How do you balance that risk versus rewards? Because obviously you need to go for points, but laps are really what counts in this.
Yeah, I think I'm not a good sprinter at all, and Kat has now the sprint also not, so we went for the laps, and then we can win the chase, so that's great.
Good to see the legs are there, that you're having fun, and I have no doubt we'll be seeing you again. Ladies, congratulations.
Yeah, a really nice interview. A very mature 18-year-old Matt. Getting used to this, aren't we, in racing? The riders get younger and younger and more mature in their younger years.
Yeah, we've seen it in the men's side of things,
yeah.
And we are now seeing it in the women's as well, with obviously Zoe Backstead doing the similar thing a year ago, and Kat Ferguson this year.
Absolutely. Team 8, though, courtesy of that victory in the Madison Chase, moved themselves up to 4th place in the general classification. But it's still the Italian pairing of Guazzini and Consoni who lead the way, Team 1. And they have taken a lap more than everybody else in the competition. Archibald and Evans, well, scrub that. Archibald has had to withdraw, but Team 2 now are down in 9th place. So, the opening Madison Chase behind us for the men and the women. We'll concentrate on the events still to come. As we get a parade of the world champions represented here.
So our Belgium World Omnium Champion, and the evergreen Roger Klug is celebrating his 3rd world title last weekend with Tim Tom Teutenberg.
Who is an outrageous talent as well, isn't he, Tim Tom Teutenberg?
He is, winning Paris-Roubaix under 23 this year.
Yep.
So another versatile character.
Another German to watch out for, Roger Kluger. Finishing his road career now, concentrating to great effects in the autumn of his career on the track. Used to be a lead-out man for Caleb Ewan for many years on the road.
He was one of the biggest men in the World Tour, leading out one of the smallest.
Yeah.
It was a very good combination.
Yeah, when he was leading out Caleb Ewan, you simply couldn't see Caleb, could you, behind him? Just disappeared entirely behind that upright form of the German. As the Derny riders come onto the track there, firing up their engines and filling this velodrome with the classic noise of six-day racing. All their game faces on here, these gentlemen who love to dish out the pain on the track. It is just a great spectacle as well. The crowd are looking forward to it. It's time for the Derny race. And we're going to start with the men's Derny race. It's going to be a 10-kilometre race over 40 laps.
Yeah, one of the highest speed events out of all the races on the track here. Some of the speeds these Dernys get up to with an athlete in tow, get well above 70 kilometres an hour.
So Team 16 in this heat of the Derny competition.
So over the 3 days, every athlete will have one Derny race over the 3 days. So they've separated them over the 3 evenings. We saw a really impressive win from Owen Doole last night in the Derny.
Yeah, 32 riders in total in the men's competition. 16 pairings of 2. There are only 8 Dernys on the track. As you say then, 4 separate heats. Each rider gets their moments behind the Derny. Elia Viviani is going to be racing for Team 4. Tonight, Will Perrett for Team 16. For Team 8, it's going to be the Dutchman Philip Heijn. Also going, Yuri Havik for Team 9. For Team 5, we've got Jan Vonish, the Czech rider, just clipping in and getting ready. As the Derny riders get themselves into their order on the track and get into formation and up to speed. And the riders, the competitors, being held on the start line in their positions for the formation lap. And once the Derny riders are in a good formation, then they'll come around one more time. And I think next time around we'll see the riders just latch onto the wheel of their allotted Derny. They'll go round one lap in formation, then that pistol will be fired for the beginning of 40 laps.
No, the interesting thing about these Derny events is the different tactics. It's a really fine balance between with the Derny rider, getting the most out of your athlete, because these surges at these high speeds do really hurt. And you see some teams are really content to lay back, sit at the back of the group, and make one big surge towards the end of the session, whereas other teams really like to lead from the front.
So one lap is signalled by the officials trackside. When they come round this time, they will latch on to their riders. The firing pistol goes, and on they go. Derny race underway then, 40 laps, a 10-kilometre race. 13, 4, 9, 1. Team 8, Team 16 and Team 11, Team 12 I should say, all on the track now. Fabio van den Bosre wearing the black of Team 12 in the middle of that pack. Behind him then Roger Kluger. Team 1 just going through the camera shot there. Right on the back though, Elia Viviani of Team 4.
Yeah, and as we can see, the Czech team already pushing on in this 40 lap countdown. And at the back of the group, Elia Viviani more than happy just to sit back, observe. I dare say towards the back end of these 30 to 40 laps, he will make his move.
Just possibly coming around to Team 13, Viviani, by the looks of it, just repositioning himself a little bit in that bunch so that the gap to the front of the race isn't quite of the length that it is. These 40 laps will go past very quickly indeed. Viviani is now making up ground on the outside. Got some big teams in the general classification hunting points here. Team 16 right in the thick of it. So too are Team 1, of course, Team 4 and Team 9. Yuri Harvick, teammate of Ben Wiggins. But Viviani has now gone from the last place to 4th on the track.
Yeah, he didn't muck around with changing positions there from being content sitting at the back, as we speak, passing another team to be positioning himself nearly in Team 3. So he's made a big move. We've got some of the superstars of track cycling in this one heat of the Derny. Viviani, Havoc, and also Roger Klug.
I'll tell you, Matt, Viviani is doing the opposite of what we expected, isn't he, at the moment? He's gone from the back to very nearly the front. And now, with 33 laps to go, he actually hits the front.
Yeah, in 5 laps, he's gone from dead last to clearly leading our event and pushing on with it.
So that's the last time we try and predict how Elia Viviani's going to play it. And they've got a little bit of a gap, have Elia Viviani and his Derny pilot.
Shall be curious to see what Viviani does next year. If he continues on with the road, or in the twilight of his career concentrates more on the track side of things.
Yep. So just to make it clear, Matt, the rider on the wheel of the Derny has total control over this, doesn't he? He can issue, well, he has to shout verbal instructions to the Derny pilot, but it's his call.
Yeah, it is. I think all the athletes would have had a chat with their Derny rider before the start, tell them the type of style they would like to race. But the on-bike communication is crucial, because if you lose contact with the Derny at these speeds, it's a painful place to be.
And it does happen from time to time. The communication isn't perfect between rider and Derny pilot. Derny pilot just pushes on a little bit too hard. The lights go out behind. Once a rider's dropped by 2 or 3 bike lengths, there's no coming back.
No, there's no coming back. And also the noise of these Dernies.
Yeah.
It is deafening.
Let alone the sound system here in Lee Valley VeloPark, plus the crowd. 3,000 expected in tonight. Track centre in the stands. So Team 8 now, coming to the fore. Philip Hayen moving past Team 4 and Elia Viviani. As Team 12 look to make a little bit of ground up over the top of Team 16, but Roger Kluger notably playing a much more conservative role, and so too is Yuri Harvick of Team 9. They're 2nd and 3rd respectively from the back of this line of riders.
Yeah, they'll be definitely worth keeping an eye out for in this last 10 laps. Viviani's content to slot back into there into 3rd position.
Will Perrott is dropping back a little bit from Team 16. Joining those other teams towards the back there. Team 1 and Team 9. Continuing to drop back actually. Will Perrott and Team 16 are falling away a little bit towards the back. Not irretrievably or anything like, because we're not even at the halfway point in this race.
Which is a surprise actually, because they've been very impressive.
Maybe he just wants to keep an eye on the team in front of him, which is now Yuri Harvick and Team 9. And they in turn have the white jersey of the European champion Roger Kluger to look at, but at the front of the race it's Team 12 who take it up, the Belgian team, and it's Fabio van den Bosque, silver medalist at the World Championships in the Madison. The substantial form of the Derny pilot behind him, piloting his charge, Jan Vonesh, the Czech rider for Team 5. So 12 and 5 on the front. Team 8 moving up onto the wheels. But the really big players, Team 4, Team 1, Team 9 and 16, are towards the back of this group.
No, they are definitely pushing on with the pace here. It might seem far, 18 laps to go, but at this speed, they will be they'll be getting a quick countdown before you know it.
Also, you have to look at this race differently, don't you, Matt, in terms of the gaps that riders open up on the track. They can be shut down much quicker by dint of the sheer speeds they're going.
Yeah, definitely.
What looks like a race-winning gap isn't necessarily a race-winning gap.
Yeah, the momentum of these Dernies at high speed is incredible. But also, it's also very hard to chase. To pass at 70 plus kilometres an hour if there's 2 or 3 teams. If you have someone else on the hip as well.
So 12 and 5 through the finish line with 15 laps remaining. And at the back you can see Elia Viviani starting to make a bit of room now. Roger Kluger looks a little bit more businesslike with his position on the bike. Juri Harvik hasn't budged from that position for Team 9, just keeping an eye on Team 1. Now those teams come into the shot and they are getting a little bit closer to the front of the race. Viviani has asked his Derny pilot to put on a little bit more here, bring him a little bit closer to the front of the race.
Yeah, he has, and Roger Klug and Havik are glued to the wheel. I think they know that move's going to come from Viviani, and they don't want to miss out on it.
For the first time, Juri Harvik as well orders his Derny pilot to take him past Roger Kluger. There he comes with that light blue helmet and that black kit. Past Kluger and now past Viviani. So Team 9 beginning to make a move. Remember, that's the team of Ben Wiggins as well, who are in control of the general classification of this race. Of these 3 days of racing, I should say.
Oh, you just see Harvick yelling at his Derny rider, go up, 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 as they proceed towards the front.
Juri Harvik now has opened up a bit of a gap on Viviani and Kluger. Harvik continuing to make up grounds, coming past Team 5 then, almost. And now he sweeps past Team 5 on the outside. Effectively, passing on the outside, all these teams had going as a result further and having to go faster, investing more in this move. Moving now into second place, coming past Team 12 on the road and slotting back in. Get ahead of the Belgian team, drop back in. Onto the wheel of Team 8. And now coming out of the slipstream of Team 8 down the back straight, Juri Harvik of Team 9. Finding it hard now as the speed gets ever faster to make the difference. But look at Viviani.
Yeah, I saw Viviani still talking at this speed to his Derny driver. Oh, big move from around the outside here with Viviani. He's going to do it the hard way, but he's going to be in pole position by the time we come around next lap with 5 to go.
Harvik might be beginning to fade a little bit as he shuts the gap down to Team 8. Team 8 look like they're going backwards. Kluger, watch out for him. Yet to really ask for the big move for Roger Kluger, but it's Viviani hits the front, looks round, tries to get a sense of where all the other teams are amid the din and the chaos of the Derny race. 5 laps remaining. Viviani with a slight gap. Harvik and Kluger coming fast though. So Team 9 moving into second place past Team 8. Roger Kluger has yet to really pull the trigger and go. But the big German now holding into sight, and his team, Team 1, slot into third place on the track.
Oh, this is going to be a nail-biting finish here. Look at our 3 key teams all lining up next to each other. Nearly 3 abreast here as we come round with 2.5 laps to go.
Harvik going again. Kluger around the outside. These 3 teams almost neck and neck on the track. Still Kluger. Now there's a bit of communication between him and his pilot. Is this the move from the German? Look at them! Lined out on the track. 3 teams almost in sync, and Kluger now asks for the effort to take him round on the outside. Viviani has the advantage of the inside line, but here comes the German on the bell. Can he get that space on the track to drop down? Harvik out of the saddle, sprinting, but looks like he's beaten, and Kluger has timed his move to perfection, and Team 1 take the win in the Derny race. A shake of the head from Viviani, has to settle for second place for Team 4, and Juri Harvik for Team 9 concedes a few more points to his nearest rivals in the general classification. He'll have to settle for third for Team 9. What a spectacle that was at this point in the track, man.
It was, with 3 teams neck and neck, stuck on the hip for the last couple of laps, but the big German prevailed in the end. Viviani, you could see the frustration on Viviani's face there as he came round, but nothing he could do about the speed of the big German Roger Klug. But Viviani holding on to second place there, but our three key teams there showing who's boss, with clear separation between the 4th, 5th and 6th teams.
He just did a bit less, didn't he, Roger Kluge, throughout that race than either Harvick or Viviani. Viviani was busy throughout from the very get-go from his position, and Roger Kluge waited for really one moment in the closing 5 or 6 laps, made his move, and with one blow delivered the victory for Team 1. Took it to the line, knew exactly how many laps he could go at what speed, and that was enough to defeat the opposition.
No, he did definitely. He timed that to perfection. And that's 2 events on the trot for our European Madison champion.
There we go. Team 1 win ahead of Team 4, Team 9 in 3rd place, Team 8 in 4th. And Team 16, I think, of the big teams, the losers there, no better than 7th place for them in the men's Derny. So once again, Roger Kluge picks up a bouquet, and as you pointed out, 2 men's events and 2 victories for Team 1. And bearing in mind, in neither of the other sessions have they actually ridden to victory, it's an impressive turnaround, as befits the status of a world champion and a European champion. Bang on form, Roger Kluge. More to come from him. Here's what the GC looks like. Still that gap separating Wiggins and Harvick from Viviani and Consonni of 1 lap.
But only 4 points separating the top 3 on points, so
yeah,
it is a close one.
The Madison chase is going to be very interesting towards the end. That's where you take the laps. We've got one more Madison chase, the last event of the evening. And you sense that 4 and 1 are going to be throwing the kitchen sink, along with Team 11 in 4th place at Team 9. We're going to have some defending to do. A bit disappointing for Owen Dool and Alex Dowsett that they find themselves in the second half of those top 16 standings, and a little bit out of contention already in the general classification. The margin for error for those teams is beginning to get very slight. Let's hear again from Roger Kluge.
Roger, back again. Congratulations. Earlier we spoke about your tactical know-how and your experience, but patience seemed to be key in this one.
Yeah, I like it to see what the other do and then react on it. And if you have the better legs in the end, mostly it paid off.
I was going to say, you're known for your sprint. Watching the field unfold, what was the moment in which you went, now I need to crank the shaft?
It's more or less to follow the guy in front of you, as long as you can. Though they see even more than me. We try to make really to get as small as possible, to be in a slipstream and save as energy. And if they speed up, you follow.
They're pretty good at their jobs, aren't they? I would love to know how much competition there is between the Derny drivers themselves.
When we are on the track, there's so much competition, and afterwards we are sitting together and we are traveling also with these guys through Europe in the different races, but when we are on the track, we don't ken any friends. We don't know any friends.
How much do you have to adapt to the rider behind you?
I totally have to adapt. With Roger, it's very easy. We are riding together since more than 15 years, so I follow also his road career, and we talk a little bit before the race, but I know what to do with him.
Go for the win. Thanks, gentlemen. We'll see you later.
Well, Roger Kluge there talking about how you win a Derny race and using the phrase, you make yourself as small as possible, which if you're Roger Kluge is quite a problem. Such a big frame, isn't he? Not the most aerodynamic of riders.
Not easy at 6'3", 6'4".
And that's just 6'4" wide, isn't he?
He's a big man, big, powerful.
Going well though, Roger Kluge, and Team 1 on a bit of a charge. Right, next up, we have got the team elimination for the women, otherwise known as the Devil. The Devil take the hindmost.
I think this is probably one of the most hectic events on the calendar. The elimination race is hectic enough. When you throw in 32 riders, it only magnifies the stress, I think. So we've got obviously looking at two ends of the bunch here, the front end of the bunch to see who's staying out of trouble, and then every couple of laps who is in trouble, and risking it all at the back of the group.
You know, Matt, a few years ago I used to do a bit of very amateur veterans racing at Herne Hill Velodrome in London myself, and the one race us numpties were never allowed to do was the elimination race. It was deemed just far too dangerous for us, and that was without having a Madison handsling in the middle of it.
The Madison handsling definitely complicates things when you get, especially some of these changes, the amount of traffic in the second part of the group there gets very stressful. But the good teams, the teams who want to stay out of trouble, you see that they will congregate in the first five partners. That's definitely the place to be. Nice clean changes, stay out of the traffic, and make that surge every couple of laps just to stay enough out of trouble without putting out too much energy.
Right then, the bell went. Next time round, we'll have the first team eliminated. Team 15 in a little bit of difficulty here. Team 12 as well. Got the inside line. It's going to be close. No, it's going to be Team 12 who go. So Team 12, Erich and Zygmunt eliminated.
Someone's going to miss out first, and unfortunately our German pair of Zygmunt and Erich are out first.
Team 15 still floating and flirting with danger at the back, trying to get themselves off the back. The Italian pair as well of Chiara Consoni as well, quite a long way back, but it's Team 10 who have it all to do here, along with Team 5 who are off the back. Taking the bell, it's Team 10 who are on the back.
Yeah,
Still on the back.
The big call here is, do Team 10 dive underneath or go high? High's the long way round.
Oh, it's going to be close this. Oh, just suggestion of a little bit of obstruction there, at least from that rider from Team 10. Not sure whether the commissaires will have a look at that. It was Nicole Plochai suggesting that she had a racing line taken from her.
I think that's probably just the natural line. Everyone gets flung up a little bit higher up the track.
Well, the commissaires weren't impressed, and Team 10 anyway are eliminated. This is the moment. Is that legit? I mean, wasn't much, was it?
No, there's only so much room on the track, isn't there?
Yep. Team 10 have gone. Bell goes again. Oh, we got a number of teams in real difficulty off the back, and it looks like it's going to be Team 9. Oh, I don't know, it's close. Really good reaction there, trying to haul in the rider in front of her from Team 5. Team 9 though, has she got enough at the line? It's going to be tight, no. Eliminated. Team 9 are the next team to go, the North American team of Majendi and Gulick. And it's the Canadian, Majendi, who couldn't quite make up the ground needed there. Gave it her best shot, but pulled up just a little bit short.
I am surprised with the tactics our Italian Olympic champions are playing with at the moment. They are risking it being in that back third of the group.
They're confident, Matt.
They are confident.
They're confident. You do see that sometimes, don't you, in not just in the Madison elimination race, but in an individual elimination race. You do see super confident riders sometimes opt for that tactic.
They do. And look, it does get easier every elimination. When you get down to 4 or 5 teams, you can see everyone, you know where everyone is. When you have 10 teams still left in the proceedings, it is a little bit riskier, whereas Team 5, our Czech combination, eliminated.
I suppose the other point is as well, Matt, that if you are towards the back, at no point are you putting your nose in the wind. You're not rotating on the front at all.
No. There definitely is an aerodynamical advantage by surfing the wheels at the back there. And if you are technically competent enough to weave your way in and out of traffic, it is one of the tactics that some of our better teams definitely use.
Nonetheless, as you say, they're second from last now, but always seemingly with enough under the hood just to make sure that there's a rider behind them. And there's 3 teams now currently behind Team 1, and it's Team 7 and 15 who are in a bit of difficulty. 15 pins to the top of the track now. Going to be hard for Team 15, I think, to salvage this one. And it looks like they're going to be the team. Are they though? No, it's 7 who go.
Our Danish team underneath got caught out.
So good response from Team 15. But each time they have to do that, each time they have to sprint for the line, it's going to cost them more and more each time.
It will. It will catch up with them. I wouldn't be surprised if our Italians, who are still flirting with danger here at the back, make one big move, slot themselves back into the front third of the group there.
That's the problem of taking the line down the bottom. There's nowhere for the Danish rider to go there. Even if she had the legs to sprint, there was no room on the track for her.
No. Here we go again. Now it's our team 15 and our white team number 6 are the two teams in danger here.
Real acceleration at the front as well, making it very difficult for the teams at the back. Team 3 now pinned to the back, along with Team 8. Team 3, though, in all sorts of difficulties, looking around and beaten. Team 3 will be the next to go.
Yes. Team 3, I think, thought there was one more team behind them.
Yeah,
But
quite possibly, yeah.
A rude shock, and there was no one there.
Just hoping there was a team behind them. Still, it's Team 4 who are stretching things out and making it difficult. Team 13 on the wheel. Kat Ferguson's in a dangerous position there, just on the inside in the orange of Team 8. Such a stylish position on the bike, the young British rider, but now she's in difficulty. Potentially. Finds a bit of room and, well, is that Team 1? Yeah, it's the Italian team who take the bell, and they're almost the last team on the track, following the wheel of Nia Evans, but it's Team 6 who find themselves at the back. And Team 15 as well. Were close to being eliminated last time around, and this time they will be. Team 15 go.
Yeah, it's caught up with them.
Yeah.
Now it becomes all a little bit easier to manage. Now you can see the teams in front of you now. There's a lot less traffic circulating.
Yeah, bit of a ride required here from Eekhoff to get back in for Team 8. That's not the bell lap. So there's track to work with here, but a heavy investment for Team 8 to go round and out of trouble and put Team 6 into difficulty on the back. Good response from Eekhoff. She's probably recovered position for Team 8 for this time around, but she had to go very deep there, and now she finds herself on the back again. And as she acknowledged in that interview, she doesn't have a sprint about her of note. So she's in a bit of difficulty here, Eekhoff, and it looks like Team 8 got that wrong. And they are going to be eliminated. So Ferguson and Eekhoff gone. So disappointment for Team 8, eliminated relatively early in proceedings here.
Yeah, they've been showing some great form in the other events.
So 2, 13, 1, 14, 11, 6 and 4 left in it. And the Italians now a little bit more anonymous now, just sitting in the middle of the pack, still doing no work on the front. As far as I can remember, I don't think I've seen either of the Italian riders actually work on the front.
No, they have been riding a very canny elimination Madison.
So Nia Evans on the front for Team 2.
It's like our British pair, Team 4, have been eliminated. Shaw and Yesset.
6 teams remain then. Still Team 2 willing to work on the front. Nia Evans doing a huge turn on the front. Sophie Lewis on her wheel from Team 14. And after that comes Mia Griffin of Team 13 in the green jersey. A big move coming up over the top there from the Italians.
Just as we said, they hadn't hit the front all day.
Now they go. Chiara Consoni suddenly flipping the tactics for the Italians. They burst into life and they stretch things out, and it's really hurting Team 6 now. That's the battle between Team 6 and 11. And Team 6, I think, are going to be the team. No, maybe not. A little bit of a surge, and Team 11 lose out. And it's Sibylle Schneider, the German, who couldn't respond to that big move over the top there from Team 6. Team 6 now working on the front, just 5 teams remain. So some smart riding from Team 6, and a really good burst of speed there, eliminating Team 11. The Italians now swarming all over the front of this race suddenly. Nia Evans with a big charge round the outside from Team 2.
Yeah, green team's the team in trouble here.
Oh,
Or
great
underneath,
response, yeah.
underneath the white team in 6. It's going to be a close one.
13 then sprinting for the line. It's going to be 6 who go. Team 6 who go. So 14, 2, 1 still in it, and 13 on the front. You would have expected Team 2, 14 and Team 1 to be in the final shake-up here. Team 13 though doing a really good ride. Mia Griffin on the front for Team 13.
It'll be interesting to see what tactics these other teams use to try to beat the Italians, because they know they are the combination to beat. They have 2 very, very fast women.
Chiara Consoni takes the bell in pole position. Alongside her though, Maddie Leach. 3 riders abreast. It's Team 2 who are in real difficulty here, and I think they're in checkmates. They're not going to get out of that. Team 2 will be eliminated. So Team 3 still very, Team 13 I should say, still very much in the shake-up here. Alice Sharp looking for the presence of Mia Griffin up on the track, resting up. She's right over the other side of the track. But the other 2 teams, Team 14 and Team 1, are about to effect their change.
Yeah, we're going to see 3 fresh riders getting slung in, all in the last lap before the change here. Here's a big push from Guazzini over the top.
Yeah, this could be difficult for Team 13 here with these 2 big riders. Yeah, they've gone, haven't they? And that was the tactic from Team 1 and 14 to put effectively Team 13 out of it this time around and do battle amongst themselves. 14 and 1 now, and the Italians trying to get rid of Team 14. Do it here.
Guazzini's definitely gone on with it. Now, the key here will be when the teams execute their last change.
Well, here come the Italians now, and it's Chiara Consoni who goes at exactly the same time as Maddie Leach gets flung in by Team 14 there. Team 13 have been eliminated, the Irish team, and it's down to 14 and 1 to do battle. Consoni pushing on. Will take the bell. And it's Maddie Leach up against Chiara Consoni, and it's no contest. Chiara Consoni pulling away from Maddie Leach, holding on to her advantage, and it's going to be the Italian pairing of Guazzini and Consoni who storm away to take victory in the women's elimination race.
Yeah, very, very impressive ride from our Olympic champions. They rode a very astute first half of the race, sat down the back, really just rode off the other teams. As the elimination wore down, they slightly moved to the front, took control when they needed to, and then showed their dominance in the last three laps.
Great stuff. Brilliant performance from 2 class riders, Guazzini and Consoni. They win ahead of Team 14, Lewis and Leach, beaten quite comfortably in the end in that head-to-head between those 2 teams. Good result from Sharp and Griffin, the 2 Irish women, to finish in 3rd place for Team 13. Clay and Evans, this cobbled together pairing, down in 4th place. So the cream in both the women's and the men's competition in terms of the general classification Saturday night here in London, beginning to rise to the top. That'll be interesting to get the thoughts of these 2 once they've been presented with their winners' bouquets for the elimination race. Just looking back over the elimination races that we've already had so far in London this weekend, it is actually the first time they've won. They've finished 2nd in both the previous women's elimination races, and this time they get the win.
Again, not too much separates our top 3 teams points-wise. Just 5 points the difference between our Italian pairing and our British pairing, but 1 lap is the differential.
Well, the Olympic Madison champions then, still at the top of the women's general classification by a lap, but congested in terms of points between the first 2. Lewis and Leach on 155 to Guazzini and Consoni's 150. Hauser and Kasper still very much in it, but a lap down. And all these teams, you would have to say, out of the shake-up really in terms of the general classification, 5 laps down on the Italians. That is not going to be a gap that they will be expecting to make up. So already a lot of those teams are just thinking about the individual result in each event. Let's hear the thoughts then of the Italians, Guazzini and Consoni.
Elimination race of the weekend. You've come second in the last 2. Was anything changed tactically that made the difference out there tonight?
Well, I mean, it's never so funny to be second, so we really wanted to take the win. And yesterday was our first team elimination. Today we just, I think we adjusted a few things, and in the end it was really nice.
You made the break, you carried it home. What did you have to do? What depths did you need to go to find that extra couple of gears to get across the line?
I think the mind is a bit Vittoria, because also on the Olympics she tried to attack, and then I just follow and go straight and don't look back, because it's the worst things that you can do.
When did the decision get made that you would attack when you did, and how much confidence did you have in your legs to be able to create a little bit of a gap between you and the Brits?
Well, I never plan anything actually, but I see at the moment, and I thought it was good to go. I knew she would continue, and as I said, she bring it home.
Ladies, congratulations. Go have a break, go have a rest, have a gel.
Like we said at the beginning of the race, Matt, confidence, isn't it? Just confidence, and that's built of their recent track record, which is nothing short of astonishing, really. They're the Olympic Madison champions, the pair of them, but they've also been part of a World Championship bronze medal team and a team pursuit for Italy as well. So they know each other extremely well, and they know about how to go about their business on the track, and that shows.
Yeah, definitely a great pairing, and also very established road riders as well. So end of a long season for them, but it's great that they're showing their wares here in London and showing they still have some great form even this late in the season.
Right, well, we've got 4 more teams about to do battle in the men's flying lap. So this isn't the definitive, we won't know the result of this event until tomorrow's session when the final 4 teams go. But for the time being, the 2 teams who lead the way are Team 4 and Team 11. Team 4, the Italians, have thus far posted the best time of 12.778. And the way this works, if you're watching it for the first time, is that amongst themselves they work out which rider will do which job on the track here. In this case, it is going to be Perrett who takes Tidball up to speed, and Tidball will do the final flying lap as fast as he can, hoping to get over the line in something faster or something close to 12.778, the best time so far.
Yeah, coming around with 2 laps to go, and like you said, Ned, one rider's role will be to set the pace and basically launch the other rider at nearly full speed, cancelling them down, using the banking as they approach 1 lap to go.
Here we go then. Will Tidball of Great Britain for Team 14, who've looked so strong. 12.778, the time to beat for Team 4 so far, who are the fastest team and the hot seat at the moment. That's very fast, but it's not fast enough. 13.215.
Just under 70k an hour, 68 kilometres an hour average speed, that flying lap. This is our Polish/Dutch combination on the track now, with one of the biggest men in track cycling, Van Schip. He's the man who is going to be setting the time, and his Polish teammate will be the one who's responsible for winding the big man up.
Pszolarski. It's not easy to write and it's not easy to say, but he's going to be the rider, the Polish rider, the smaller of the 2, who'll be doing the job for Willem van Schip, who's a very experienced 6-day racer, has done this many, many times to deliver the final lap. It's very important for the pace to be right here for the first rider, isn't it? He doesn't want to go, well, it's a combination of he doesn't want to go too too hard to put his protected rider into difficulties, but equally he's got to look after his own effort so that he doesn't slow at the point where he needs to be delivering the terminal velocity.
Definitely, Ned. It's a combination of not putting his rider in the red, but if he doesn't have his rider at top speed when they come round for just before a lap to go, the tail rider hasn't got enough time to recover. As we go here, he starts to wind him up, hand goes back, and off goes the Big Dutchie.
Slung him in a little bit later than the British pairing, who I thought just did their handsling perhaps a little bit, arguably a little bit too soon. Let's have a look at what Van Schip does. Yeah, that's a good time.
Oh,
and it's a little bit faster than Team 14.
Yeah, just outside the 12-second mark. Oh, we've got two different times here. We've got 12.99. So yeah, that's a fast one. That's definitely going to be one of the top 3 times of the flying lap over the weekend.
2 more teams to come then. It's Owen Dool and Alex Dowsett, and it's going to be Dool to set up the former world hour record holder Alex Dowsett. Owen Dool then, the Welshman, whipping up the crowds. They haven't really tasted too much success so far at 3-day London, this pairing.
No, just in the Derny.
Yeah, in the Derny in the opening session yesterday. Owen Dool taking victory.
Yeah, I want to launch Alex at high speed here. I think Alex is not the zippiest of track riders, but he definitely has the strength to go from long. There he goes, starting to wind him up at high speed here.
Now, when are they going to do the handsling? Quite early.
Yep.
So Alex Dowsett dropping down off the banking now onto the racing line. Clock starts. What can Dowsett deliver then over the flying lap for Team 2? Again, Team 4 lead the way on 12.778 overall. And again, that's a little bit slower. So not quite, and a shake of the head there from Dowsett. He'll be disappointed with that. Outside 14 seconds, they would have hoped for better than that.
Yeah, definitely. I think they launched Alex at quite high speed there. Like we said before, I think not the punchiest of pairings for this event.
Well, final pair now is Team 6. It's Claudio Imhoff and Campbell Parrish. It's going to be Parrish, the teenager, who is going to be doing the flying lap, the Canadian.
Yeah, an interesting combination, this one. One of the most experienced track riders on the circuit, our Swiss multiple world champion, and one of the youngest competitors, our young Canadian, 19 years of age.
15 years between them in terms of age. 34 years of age, the Swiss Claudio Imhoff. Multiple medalist over many years, European Championships on the track.
Winner of the Champions League a couple of years ago. And obviously, they've obviously had a talk there, and the speed of the young Canadian must be quite fast if he's going to be finishing off the job here.
Here we go then. Getting him up to speed. Up on the bars, slinging him in. Campbell Parrish, the 19-year-old Canadian then. 12.999, the fastest in this heat of the flying lap. 12.778, the time to beat overall, set by Team 4. Campbell Parrish, that's a good ride. That's a very good ride, and that's very, very nearly as fast as Team 4. Not quite, but it's the fastest team in this heat. So a really good ride from the young Canadian.
That was impressive. More than a tenth of a second in front of our Polish-Dutch combination. Anything under 13 seconds is going to be a very competitive mark.
So that was the men's flying lap. Next up, we'll have the women's Derny. And then after that, it'll be the men's team elimination, followed by the final 2 Madison chases of the evening. First the women and then the men. All that still to come. confirmation that Imhoff and Parrish were the fastest in that heat. As our successful Derny pilot, working for Roger Kluger, last time out, gets his machine out again and out onto the track. The riders make their way onto the track, just as the pairing of Imhoff and Parrish are just winding down. They've got the duration of this Derny race to recover before they'll be on the track again for the men's team elimination. It's absolutely relentless stuff.
No, it's there's not too long a recovery between any of these events. It's 4 hours of action-packed racing.
I wonder what you'd advise athletes to do in the few minutes they have for match. I mean, it's not a question of rolling, like getting on the rollers, is it? I don't think. It's
No, some of them, no. Get a quick drink, towel down.
And that's all you can do.
There's not too much time to do anything else. I think when some of the longer chases are on, they might have a snack, they gel, get a little bit of fluids in.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of a lie down or sit down.
See those little cabins there, track centre, those white constructions? There's not much room in those little cabins, so I went and had a little glance inside there. 4 quite big riders, certainly in the case of the Germans, confined in a space that's no bigger than about 2 telephone boxes. Yes, you've got to get on with your teammate, and you've got to get on with your rivals as well. There we go. Not much privacy. Men and the women as well, all thrown in together, all in the mix. And just to add to the claustrophobia, you've got the paying public as well, leaning over the barriers with a beer in hand, staring at you intently. There's Chiara Consoni. Deep conversation, the beer's flowing, track centre. That's a big part of 6-day racing as well.
Yeah, it is. It's an incredible atmosphere.
Back in the day, in the heyday of 6-day racing in the 1970s, 1980s, a lot of the big 6-day meetings on the continents, the last event of the evening used to be called the Race of the Unknown Distance, and it was just that. When the riders got up on the track, often close to midnight, they would be on the race, on the boards, not knowing what the race distance was. And that would be determined by the race organisers, and they would only call the end of the race by the time all the beer had been sold, which could take a long time. Pretty gladiatorial stuff back in the day. Pretty gladiatorial stuff here as well, as the riders from the women's field get ready to do their Derny race.
Yep.
8 teams represented on the track, Team 5.
Some of the women still lining up here, so we've still got another lap or 2 before they're going to get the gun.
Miriam, sorry, I should say Miriam. Mia Griffin is going for Team 13. Kat Ferguson going for Team 8. Team 4 represented by young Eilidh Shaw, the Scottish rider. Team 5 have Veronika Bartonikova racing for them. Team 12 represented by Marla Nicolas Zygmunds, the German. Team 9 have on the boards the Canadian Fiona Magendi. And finally, of the Italian pairing, it's the turn of Vittoria Guazzini, who's only just won the elimination race, to see what she can do in the Derny race. One lap to go. Then the pistol will be fired and we'll begin a 40-lap Derny race, exactly the same distance as the men raced.
And they're away. As they shuffle for position, locate their Derny, and get into the groove.
Right then, and once again, just as we saw in the men's Derny race, the Italian rider Elia Viviani was drawn last in the line, and he didn't hang around at all. He moved from the back right to the front, and this time Vittoria Guazzini is in exactly the same position, right at the back. But for now, it's Team 13 who are pushing on a little bit, have opened up a bit of a gap. It's Mia Griffin, the Irish rider. silver medalist in the UCI Nations Cup in Hong Kong in the team pursuit discipline, along with her teammate Alice Sharp. Two women's Derny events so far have been won by Team 10 and Team 3. So we're going to have a new winner of the Derny competition here, this side of the draw. Riley Shaw just closing the gap a little bit in the blue of Team 4 to the Irish woman, Mia Griffin. And Shaw now ranging up alongside, so a Scottish and an Irish rider at the front of this race.
These two pairings are definitely pushing on.
The inscrutable features of the Derny pilots, giving nothing away about their tactics. But Riley Shaw opting to go with Mia Griffin here. Quite a gap opening up to all the other teams behind. Kat Ferguson bedded in there in third place at the moment on the track, ranging up alongside Veronika Bartonikova for Team 5. Bartonikova now going past Kat Ferguson, and that gap is shrinking there to the front of the race, so all very congested on the track at the moment. No riders really making a big move, but a long way to go still in this Derny race. We'll come around the finish line next time, there'll still be 32 laps remaining. Bartonikova's made up a lot of ground on the outside now, and she hits the front, coming past Mia Griffin for Team 5, or tries to, going the long way rounds. And now she finds that gap on the track, and Griffin, going to try and force Bartonikova to keep high on the track and go the long way rounds. Looks like she is, so Griffin's making this hard for Bartonikova to drop down onto the racing line. These two teams are kind of locked together, and Bartonikova with a little bit of an acceleration now. Still, Matt, just looking to find that opportunity to drop down and take the racing line.
Yep, and she'll find it now. Yeah,
finally. But she was pinned to the top of the track there for a good 2 or 3 laps.
Look, and that'll take it out of you. That'll take it out of you. I see towards the back of the group there, Ferguson and Guarzini seem quite content there to be in the back end of the group.
Well, knowing what we know about Kat Ferguson, this is the kind of physiological effort that suits her down to the ground, isn't it?
Definitely does. It definitely does. And Guarzini, I can notice as well, Guarzini also has a big gear on, so when she does get that wound up later on, she will be hard to stop. She's got some work to do at the moment with 25, coming around for 25 laps to go.
So Bartonikova, Czech rider on the front. Looked for the front of the race and has found the front of the race. But Riley Shaw once again moving up on the outside. And the young Scotswoman then taking over control from Bartonikova and dropping down at the head of affairs then. Team 4 taking things up, and the pace has perceptibly gone up all across that group now. 23 laps remain. Shaw on the front, Team 4, Team 5, Team 12, 13. Kat Ferguson moves into slightly closer contention there, the 4th team on the road. Guazzini playing it very cool. Last but one team on the track at the moment.
All the teams seem to be now bunching up for the first time as we approach just over 20 laps to go. So the halfway mark.
What do we expect Kat Ferguson to do for Team 8 here? This is an event that suits her. Could be that she'll try something from long range to try and ride everybody off her wheel. Try and put Guazzini on the back foot, put her into difficulty, extend her capacity. Try something long range and audacious. 20 laps out, that would be a tall order, so she'll be patient yet a while, I would imagine. But Matt, would you expect her to adopt that kind of a tactic, maybe go inside the final 10 laps?
Yeah, I think so. I think Guazzini will sit there and wait till the last 5 or 6, and I think to preempt the move of Guazzini would be a smart one.
Guazzini, right at the back there, Guazzini just lost the wheel, just a little bit of a Derny pilot there, who looks round to the Italian, and just for a moment, Vittoria Guazzini looked a little bit ragged at the back there. But at the front, there's another change, and it's Team 12 who take over. Marla Nicola Zygmunt, the German team, in the black of Team 12. But that didn't last long, and once again, Mia Griffin, who started the race on the front now with a big attack, does open up a bit of an advantage, and this is a bit of a move here from Team 13.
It is, because now we see the teams are spread out over the whole straight. So these teams, the back 3 teams, have got a lot of work to do. I know it still is 15 laps to go, but when a big increase of pace like that does happen, it does really stretch the bikes and all the athletes along the track. Well, here we go. We see a big move here from Kat Ferguson with Guazzini followed closely behind.
Yeah, Guazzini is alert to that. You can see in 3rd and 4th place, but Kat Ferguson making ground, closing the gap to the front 2 teams at the front of the race, with the Italian showing that golden jersey to Kat Ferguson and moving round her as well. And now the Italians are making a big move.
That's one that Kat Ferguson is going to have to keep an eye on here, because I think once Guazzini settles into 2nd place, she will look to overtake the black team straight away, and then I think it'll be very, very hard to strangle the lead off Guazzini once she takes it in the coming lap.
Past Magendi, past Team 9 and into 1st place. Team 1, the Italians, almost past them anyway. And a little bit of a gap opening up to Team 8, who are the team who have to respond to this move. It's not done yet, there's still 12 laps to go.
Yeah, a little bit earlier than I would have expected, actually, but Guazzini is in pole position. It's just whether Ferguson and the other teams can react.
Yeah, I think she shouted at her Derny pilot there, Ferguson, asking for a little bit more. There she is. Still just about in contention here. One team in between her and the front of the race, but Guazzini hasn't gone clear here.
No.
Magendi is actually closing the gap and coming back to the Italian, and that is bringing the race back together again by the looks of it. So, as you say, a little bit earlier than we expected the move to come, particularly from the Italian team. Has it backfired?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the tactic of the Derny rider here, because they had a clear lead, which has now evaporated. So she's got probably one more move or one more big increase of speed left in her with 8 laps to go. But she's going to have to, because they will come from behind. So she's just got to be prepared for that surge, whether it's from Kat Ferguson, whether it's in the black team as we speak.
Here we go, Team 9, Magendi, the Canadian, coming round. Guazzini's Derny pilot forcing them very high on the track. Looking round, that was gamesmanship, to say the least. Almost losing their line there, and again just blocking, shutting the door on Magendi. Some pretty experienced antics going on there. But Magendi tries again to find that gap.
You know, so I think that the battle between these 2 teams is getting very interesting. Now, I think the one in pole position here is Kat Ferguson, because she hasn't had to take the outside line, but she's going to have to make a move in the next 2 laps here. She's sitting back. The other 2 teams have been playing cat and mouse, hooking each other up the track. But that is the long way round for the team in black. They haven't been able to get over the top of Guazzini and drop down the bottom. And as we speak, Kat Ferguson is gradually creeping up on those 2 teams in front.
Can she find the gap? Can she make the junction? Getting closer all the while, but still it's Guazzini on the front, 3 laps to go. Magendi's challenge might be over here unless she can charge with one big surge up on the outside. Ferguson getting closer. Magendi once again looking to get past the Italians, who keep shutting the door, but this time they do find space. And Team 9 move to the front. Kat Ferguson then almost up alongside Guazzini, alongside her now, and into 2nd place on the track.
Oh, here comes Kat Ferguson. Here she comes, 1 lap to go.
As she left it too late then, Majendi takes the bell in front. Ferguson looking for room, having to go around the outside. Down the back straight, Ferguson with a big charge.
I think she's got
Drawing
the legs.
level.
I think
Has
she's
she
got
got
the
it?
legs.
Can she get there? Ferguson takes it just from Majendi. So Team 8 get the Derny race ahead of Team 9, and it's third place only for Team 1, the Italians, and it's a second win of the evening for Team 8, and Ferguson left that mighty late.
They did leave that to the wire, but very well timed final surge. Very, very well timed final surge of the evening. And that will bring it back. They had a little bit disappointing elimination, and to win that event, that will bring them up the standings considerably. Look at the gap she had to make up coming round there. With 1 lap to go, more than a bike length, which might not seem much, but when you have a bike, a Derny and a bike at 70 kilometres an hour, it is not an easy feat to come around the outside.
Fiona Majendi had invested so much, hadn't she, Matt, in just getting into that position on the front. Maybe she just paid for those efforts, and Ferguson got the reward for playing a very cool and calm and patient game.
Yep, she definitely did. No, but I think you're right there. I think the to and fro with Guazzini, she paid for it in the end. And there you can see Kat Ferguson winning by a good half a bike length.
Special ride from a special rider. The youngest rider here in London for 3-day London. Kat Ferguson, the 18-year-old, winning the Derny. Ahead of a very impressive ride from Fiona Majendi. A little bit disappointing perhaps for Vittoria Guazzini, who took it up very, very early in that race, and maybe too early with hindsight.
Yeah, a very important 20 points Kat Ferguson's earned there. So we'll be interested to see when they add the running tally up there where that puts them.
Superstar in the making, Kat Ferguson, no doubt about it. An astonishing 2024 this young rider has had. As you mentioned earlier, Matt, she's signed for Movistar, which is I don't know, is that a surprising move to you?
Well, yes and no. I think Movistar in a redevelopment phase, obviously having Annemiek van Vleuten on the team to finishing off her career, and they've gone and bought Marianne Rousseau, and obviously Kat Ferguson. Rousseau's at the top of her game, a lot older than the Kat Ferguson, but what I'm really curious to see where Kat develops over the next couple of years is, does she continue on with the cyclocross, the track, or as she gets older, it does become harder to try to do everything at the highest level. But I think these first couple of years in the senior ranks, she can do both. And I think the skills that she's gained on the track and cyclocross definitely help her development, or fast track her development as a road rider as well.
Well, let's hear from her once again. Win number 2 for Team 8 and Kat Ferguson.
Kat, long time no see. Just how important were those 20 points in the scope of your overall weekend?
Yeah, I think super important. Just took a lot of pressure off the rest of the races tonight.
When Vittoria pushed the pace with about 12 laps to go, how did you keep your cool and not overreact to that?
I think thanks to this guy. That was my first Derny race, and hopefully my last. That was really hard.
So how did you not overreact to the early pace when we still had about 12 laps to go and Guazzini was ready to put the pedal down?
Yeah, it was a high speed, but yeah, you know, she's the world champion, and she can do it. So I wait. In the last 3 laps, yeah, we try it, and yeah, she did it.
We're going to pop your last couple of laps up on the screen. Talk me through the process, both of you, of this last exchange.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of like a waiting game. Let everyone think that we're quite far behind, and then go sort of in the last minute when everyone else is dying.
What was your thought process there, this last push to the finish?
Sorry, I can hear you not.
We're watching the last laps of your race on the screen right there. As you're pulling Kat into the finish, what are you thinking about?
Yeah, well, I drive till the finish. There's always one behind you. And when I saw that, yeah, it's very nice to win with her.
Great job, guys. We're going to let you go and celebrate.
A first Derny race, Matt. First ever Derny race.
Well, certainly a baptism of fire, but she showed she's got the skills to get it done.
Amazing stuff, breathless stuff here in London, because we are about to get underway in the men's elimination race as well, the team elimination race. Real spectacle this, actually, probably of all the races on the track, almost the most spectacular, because as you were pointing out earlier, the action is at the front and at the back, and it goes by very fast indeed. The teams are eliminated over the finish line very quickly. One inattentive couple of laps and you can find yourself out of contention before you know it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most hectic events of the 3 days.
Well, so far in the men's elimination competition, it's been raced twice at 3-day London 3-day, and victory has gone to Team 16 and to Team 12 so far. There we go, gun fires, and it's Roger Kluger and Team 1 who find themselves on the front. Three laps between eliminations, so when they come round over the line with Team 16 on the front, there'll be 2 laps to go until we see the first team dropped out of the race. Will Tidball for Team 16 on the front.
Yep, our green team with work to do here, because Viviani's noticed them on the hip. Very experienced campaigner Viviani and Consoni. And I think our green team's going to really struggle to get over the top of our Olympic champion here.
Yeah, Simone Consoni just looking around and checking. There's absolutely no way for round for Oscar Winkler of Team 13. They're the first team to be eliminated. So contrasting tactics from a couple of the teams there. You can see Team 16 very close to the front, as they have been pretty much all along, and the Italians, Consoni and Viviani, just banking on their experience and their craft. Quite content at the moment, Simone Consoni, to be the last team on the track.
Yep, they've definitely come in with a tactic of
look at that.
They know they've got the speed.
Look at that, Viviani had quite a lot of work to do there just to get clear of Team 7. He's put Team 7 onto the back, and it's going to be the Danes who are eliminated, is it? No, Team 11 by the looks of it, the team in red. Let's wait for confirmation of what the commissaires think there.
Which will be a shock actually if the Belgians.
The Belgians have gone.
Because these guys have been very lethal in these other events, and to get eliminated so early is a spanner in the works for their overall title ambitions.
Look at that, the Italians once again the last team on the track by a distance. As they take the bell, Simone Consoni is 5-6 bike lengths off the back. Will he get out of trouble this time?
Yeah, he's got some work to do weaving through traffic as
Whoa,
well.
this is going to be dicey for Team 4. Team 7 are once again the target, and Consoni has it all to do to stay in the race here. Sprinting up against Team 7. Oh, I think Team 8 might have fallen victim there to a turn of speed from Consoni. Have Team 8 gone, or will it be the Italians?
Oh, the Italians.
They've gone. Well, they gambled and it blew up in their faces. I thought he might have just done enough here, Matt.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that decision.
Yep.
I am not sure about that decision. But never mind. They're out. Commissaires threw a bit of a wobbler there for me. Well, that might be a decision that will have ramifications in the general classification, because they've been eliminated now. Team 9 in a bit of difficulty now. Ben Wiggins, looks like Team 9 have been eliminated as well, so the big teams are dropping like flies at the moment. Harvick and Wiggins eliminated, straight after Team 4.
Yeah,
the top 2 in the general classification
have been eliminated with more than 10 teams still left in there.
What is going on? Well, it's an opportunity for other teams like Team 16 now to make ground, make headway.
It is. Valuable 20 points up for grabs.
Team 1, watch out for them. We haven't seen much of them, Kluger and Reinhardt, in this elimination race so far. But it's Team 6 on the front with 5 on their wheel. Team 7 have been close to the back pretty much the whole way round so far. But it's Team 8 who are in real difficulty here, and Team 8 who are going to be thrown out of the race. So Team 8, the next team to go. The all-Dutch pairing of Hoppezak and Heinen.
Yeah, they got away with it before, but their time is up.
Bit of justice done there because they were the team that had been eliminated by the Italians before that. Now then, another team who've been riding their luck a bit of the Danish team, Team 7. Still at the back, Team 15 there, and it's Reinhardt for Team 1, who's second from last. He looks around, he checks. Team 7 now having to get out of jail.
Oh, this is going to be a tricky one for the Germans. Big move underneath.
Is there room? Is there room? He's looking for room, Reinhardt, and it's difficult. Yeah. And that wasn't a question of strength, was it, Matt? That was just, there was nowhere for him to go.
Yeah, definitely. No, but we've seen some of our biggest teams have been eliminated.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Like you said before, this is a very good opportunity for some of our middle-ranked teams to pick up a very valuable 20 points.
Team 14, still very much in the hunt. Team 5, the Czech team, the Polish team, Team 10 towards the front. And again, somehow the Danes have survived. Yeah, cat with 9 lives, these two. They're always at the back.
Yeah, they're definitely playing with fire. but they do seem to have a great turn of speed under pressure.
They've got a method, haven't they? They've got a method. And is it going to work this time? Is it going to work this time? No.
That was strange because he looked like he had all the speed ready to go.
The legs just didn't allow for it, yeah.
Yeah, they just faded down the front straight.
Only so many times you can survive the sprint for the line at the back of the race, and finally Team 7 have paid the price. And they go.
Yeah, every surge and change of speed you do pay for, and we are at the tail end of the second night of proceedings. People do start to get a bit fatigued.
That's where you start to think of the teams who have been operating at the front. 14, 5, 3, 16, 10. They haven't been involved in any of the skirmishes yet for elimination. In fact, none of these riders really have, so hence, look at that bunch, really compact here, but Team 15 in difficulty. Oh, it's Team 2 who go though, and that was Alex Dowsett.
Yeah. I'll tell you who I like here, Ned, is the yellow team 16.
Yeah, Perrott and Tidball.
They've been impressive the last 2 nights, and they've just been riding a very, very conservative Madison chase here. Madison elimination. Not on the front, not at the back. Staying out of trouble.
Yeah, they've been second wheel, third wheel, haven't they, the whole way round. Callum 12s is on the front with the red number there for team, that's Team 5 who are on the front, I should say. Team 14, Charlie Tanfield moving up alongside, but it's Team 6 who are in difficulty.
There's not much room down the back straight here or down there. I think the big fella.
Whoop, 15, the next team to go. Smart bit of riding by Team 6 there. Team 15 had nowhere to go there. Do they know they've been eliminated? Yeah, I think the message has got through now.
Yep.
Yeah. They're riding on for almost the best part of a lap as if they didn't realise they'd gone, but they have gone now, and that leaves just 7 teams left in it.
Team 16 are going to have to watch. They're a little bit boxed in here as a little bit of a headbutt there from Team 16. He's got a lot of work to do because he's going to have to go the long way round or hope that it opens up underneath.
Well, he's found a little bit of a gap there. Can he seize it? Yes. And it's going to be, can he? Yeah, Team 14 who fall victim to that. That was a smart bit of gamesmanship there by Will Perrott. But as you say, it was a slightly dicey moment for Team 16 there. They got out of jail a bit as Team 10 try and go clear of all the chaos here and open up a bit of a gap.
Will Perrott's been on the front there, or in the as he changes now.
Yeah.
a well-deserved rest.
Yeah, it's been a while since Tidbull had been thrown into the action, but he is there now. Tidbull has the outside line here, and that's going to be difficult for Team 6.
Yeah.
Very difficult for Team 6 here, I think. Claudio Imhoff, Manu finds a bit of a gap there, and it's going to be Team 3, is it? Yeah, 3 who go this time, or 10. 10 it is. Again, getting trapped on that inside line. Everything can change in the last 20 or 30 metres of the sprint.
Yeah, it's not the pace you want to be.
So Claudio Imhoff rescuing it for Team 6 there with a powerful sprints. 5 teams left in it. Will Perrett is back in for Team 16. Team 5, the Czech team, have Denis Rugovac on the front now. Team 3 in difficulties here, battling with Team 6 once again. Looking for a gap that isn't there, and the legs aren't willing anyway, so it's Team 3 who go next. Frank Longstaff. And then there were 4. Team 5.
I have been really impressed by the ride of Will Perrett here and his partner. Just stayed out of trouble, not doing too much on the front.
Very little ever actually on the front, aren't they?
Team 6 with a lot of work to do here, as they've actually lost contact with the other 3 teams.
Yeah, game over for Team... Ooh, yeah, game over for Team 6. They're not coming back from there. So there are going to be 3 teams left in it. Team 6 will be eliminated this time around. And then we've got Team 12, 16 and 5 for the win. And yeah, you're right, Matt. The way they've raced, you would put money on Team 16 to deliver the victory here, but you never know.
They're going to come around with 2 to go before they get the bell. We see a bit more cat and mouse tactics now with our 3 teams.
It's the Kiwi, Keegan Hornblow on the front for Team 12, the 23-year-olds. Perrett slipping onto his wheel, just pushing the rider from the Czech team there. Vones a little bit high on the track, and Vones now trying to get round them on the outside, and again Perrett just makes it difficult for him as they sweep round Team 12, affecting the change, and it's going to be Van den Bosker who gets eliminated here. I think, oh, it's tight, but yeah, it is Fabio Van den Bosker who goes. So 5 and 16 for the win. Tidbull it is who gets thrown in here for Team 16.
That should be the last change.
Slows
he's kept him high.
Whoa, little bit of an exchange between the 2 of them. Tidbull taking him very high there. Track sprint, mano a mano.
Very confident to keep the Czech team high, coming round to get the bell.
Great stuff. Vones against Tidbull. Tidbull opening up his sprint now. Now he gets out of the saddle. Vones coming round him. Vones looking very threatening here. Can the Czech finish it off? Yes, he can. Victory to Team 5. Team 16 settled for 2nd place, but a wonderful win there for the Czech team, and he deserved that.
He did. He had the legs in the end. I thought our yellow team rode a very tactically astute race, but the Czechs were too good, too much speed when it mattered.
Yeah, and Tidbull did everything he could tactically there to make the Czechs' life hell in that final couple of laps, taking him right up the track, but he had an answer for it when the sprint opened up. Seated, and with Will Tidbull briefly out of the saddle, into the slipstream, and here just the raw power to come round him into the home straight. Tidbull without reply, and the race was over effectively here.
Yep, and they will enjoy picking up that 20 points to add to their overall tally.
Well, just 2 races left on the programme tonight as we watch our winners from the team elimination race for the men. That is next up, the 30-minute Madison Chase for women, and then to round things off, the Madison Chase for men. battling through the programme. There's the team elimination results there. Disappointment for some big teams there, as you can see. Havik and Wiggins, Viviani and Consoni eliminated very early on in that team elimination race.
Yeah, same with Klug and Reinhardt. So.
Yep. Rugovac and Vonesh with the win, taking the applause of this big London crowd here on Saturday night. And off they go. I should get the women up fairly soon, or maybe we'll get an opportunity to hear from our Czech riders as we look at the general classification. And still it's the same teams towards the front, but look at that, there's been a change actually. Klug and Reinhardt started the day in 5th place. They've moved up to 2nd, courtesy of their points tally on countback. They're both on -1 lap. Viviani, Consoli, Klug and Reinhardt, both on 129 points. So the commissaires have had to dig deep into the rule book there to separate the two of them and work out on countback which of the two teams moves into 2nd place. And I guess that's because Klug and Reinhardt have won a round more recently than Viviani and Consoni. But that is a pure guess.
The big movers there are Tidwell and Perrott, who very high on points, just a couple of laps behind. So a lot to play for in this last Madison chase of the evening tonight.
Well, as the women get ready to do their Madison chase and get up onto the track, I think imminently we can hear the thoughts of the winning Czech pair from Team 5.
Jan, when Tidwell went high, what was going through your mind on that final lap?
I'm thinking about sprinter, and this is my discipline, and
he just went for the sprint. He's the better sprinter of us, so it was perfect. It went for him in the final lap, and he just went for it because that's what he's good at.
We're deep into the thick of the 3 days now, and we've still got plenty of events to come. How do you reset and prepare for another Madison just this evening?
We just have to keep going. That's what we do. That's what we came to do, and we can do it.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, he looks like a sprinter, doesn't he, Matt?
He is a big man. He is a big man.
He's obviously very confident in his own ability, though.
He is, and it took care of that sprint with ease, actually.
Yeah. Right, as you can see, the women are lining up now for their 30-minute Madison chase. There's the Italian pairing, Guazzini and Consoni. Dominated the first Madison. Can they repeat their feat and extend their advantage in the general classification with one session of racing remaining tomorrow? A daytime session, an afternoon session. If you're going to tune in and join the live stream tomorrow, it all kicks off at 1 o'clock and it'll be done by 6 o'clock in the evening. What better way to spend a Sunday afternoon? Well, get yourself down here, get a ticket. Still tickets available for Sunday tomorrow, I believe. If not, follow it all on the live stream. So an attack straight away this time. It was a cagey start to the first Madison chase of the day.
It was, but our Polish pairs got straight to it. It's like 4 teams have just edged clear of the bunch now. None of the favourites. And these smaller teams are looking for to take an advantage early on, while the more established teams watch each other.
Yeah, 10-7, Team 12 and Team 5 are the teams represented in this move that's gone off the front and already has about a quarter of a lap. No immediate reaction from us. As you refer to them, the big teams, or the teams high up in the general classification, or expected to win this round. So it could be that these 4 teams get a fairly straightforward lap, although there is a move coming up from Team 4, who I thought were trying to get involved. Got half a lap now. the quartet of teams off the front. Slightly longer Madison this as well, so no real panic. That 20-minute Madison was always going to be a bit of a cagey affair, because taking multiple laps over 20 minutes is a challenge. But a challenge that Team 8 lived up to with their victory in the opening chase. So 5, 10, 7 and 12, most of the way across already. An orderly look to the bunch, who aren't too concerned by this attack yet. And we're some way from the first intermediate sprint.
No, but they're making good inroads. It doesn't seem too much stress in the bunch here.
No, they seem confident that they can hand these laps to these teams and still go about their business, the big teams, without too much concern. So good opportunistic move, actually. Quite smart thinking there from Team 10 and the other teams who joined in as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And they've got themselves a lap. Or they will have any second now, as Team 5 brings it home. Team 10 not quite there, but very nearly. Still not quite there, Team 10, actually. They haven't been given the lap just yet.
No, they got caught out in the last
They did.
chase.
Yep.
They'd want to react pretty quick again, or they might see themselves in the same circumstances.
Still not quite there, just looking at the back of the bunch.
No, it's painful to watch, actually.
Yeah. And in fact, the bunch is going away from Team 10 at the back. Meanwhile, at the front, the pressure is being applied by Team 13, Team 4, Team 9 and Team 8 showing their colours, along with Team 1 as well. So some of the bigger teams now represented towards the front of the bunch. And Team 10 are in all sorts of difficulties off the back. They have not made the junction and have not been given the lap.
No.
Or have they? They have, actually. The commissaires have given them the lap, which I think is generous.
Very generous. Very, very generous. But looks like they actually have now scrambled their way to actually the back of the group. So
Now they've got the lap, yeah.
Hard earned, but well deserved.
So 5,
lap.
10, 7 and 12. We've got Team 11 off the front now, followed by Team 9. Cat Ferguson's on the move, tracked all the way by the Italians. So first showing from that orange jersey of Cat Ferguson in Team 8 on the wheel of a rider from Team 9. Still it's Team 11 off the front. You see the red jersey just coming into the home straight now. This is the chase. Cat Ferguson and Team 9, so Team 8 and Team 9. Eickhoff waiting. Eickhoff now going to be deployed by Ferguson. Still it's Team 11 off the front though, and they haven't been caught yet. Team 11 did this, I seem to remember, in the opening chase as well, attacking on their own and not waiting for a group to coalesce around them.
No, it's a hard way to get a lap, but sometimes you can pull it off, especially early in proceedings.
Not on this occasion though.
Nope.
Team 8 bring it back. What was your experience of racing the Madison back in the day, Matt? Was it a discipline you enjoyed?
Yeah, it was. I did race a lot as a junior and early years as a senior in the Madison, and great atmosphere. That time back in Australia, we didn't have many indoor velodromes.
Yep.
We had some great country velodromes, outdoor velodromes, and it's a really sensational atmosphere. Obviously, for us in Australia, the track cycling is a summer affair.
Yeah.
And no, I really enjoyed the Madison.
What kind of surfaces were they? Concrete or yeah?
Yep, concrete tracks of all shapes and sizes. I've raced on a 220 metre concrete track with banking of about 48-50%, and then a 550 metre track.
What?
Yes. A D shape in Bendigo.
Wow.
One long straight and two smaller corners.
A D-shaped track.
A D-shaped track in Bendigo. And a very famous Madison, the Bendigo Madison.
We've got 4 teams off the front now. Team 2, Team 11 are there. Team 4 and Team 8. Now the Italian team, Team 1, not represented, and that's a good little quartet here.
It is, and the quartet's going to come across poor old team number 10, who actually are now going to lose their lap.
Oh yeah, they have. They've been relapped.
So all that effort has come to nothing.
Unless they can stay alive in this group and get back on, and then they regain the lap that they are in the process of losing. So 5 teams together with half a lap's advantage. And the big team to have lost out on this move, or not to be present at the moment, not that they'll panic, it's a long way to go, is Team 1. Guazzini and Consoni. Because you've got Team 2 in this move, and very significantly as well, Team 8, the winner of the opening Madison chase.
Yeah, this has been a big push.
Excuse me, sorry about that cough.
From these 5 teams. But looking back at the bunch there, the Italians do look quite content. They're in well control in the general classification. They're letting the other teams do all the grunt work. But these other 5 teams are quickly approaching the back of the group to take their lap.
Yeah, it won't be long now as they slow up a little bit. The Italian team on the front, Team 1, trying to keep the pace high in the peloton, make this a little bit more difficult for these 5 teams coming across. Team 10 on the front. And of course, Team 10 gaining a lap and then borderline threatening to lose a lap. They just come back in. They're not gaining another lap here. They're simply restoring their pre-gained lap, if that makes sense. But we do have a number of teams who do gain a lap here. Team 11, Team 4, Team 8 and Team 2. And that is done. So now we've got 8 teams who have taken a lap, by my calculation. We'll wait for the scoreboard to reflect that when it gets updated. Team 3 move to the front of the bunch. 6 laps to go until the first intermediate sprint. The bunch all together. Team 3, though, attacking off the front.
Yeah, the pace has certainly gone on now. Team 3, a big injection of pace, heavily marked by the Italians just behind.
The veteran German, no, it's the younger of the two, actually, forgive me, it's Brauser. And now looking around to see where Romy Kasper is. She just pulls up on the track, and now then, the Italians have got a little bit of a gap with 3 other teams following their move, straight onto them. Yeah, confirmation that there are 8 teams who have taken a lap, as you can see on the scoreboard now. 2, 12, 11, 10, 8, 7, 5 and 4. All together again, the bunch. Next attack's coming, it's Team 14 who make a move on the outside.
It's a very big surge there.
2 laps to go until the first intermediate sprint. 5 points up for grabs here. The Italians interested. Chiara Consoni, watch out for her in third wheel. Taking the bell. Next time around, it's Sophie Lewis on the front. Lewis is doing all the work on the front. Hands over to her teammate, Maddie Leach. Maddie Leach has got a little bit of a gap here over Team 3, and Leach is powering away, and Leach is going to take the 5 points ahead of Team 3, so 14 take 5 points, 3 second place, and it's Team 1 who pick up 2 points for third place at that intermediate sprint, and these teams are pushing on now and trying to make this into a lap-gaining move if they can, as the peloton falls apart somewhat under pressure from this attack.
Yeah, there's been a clear separation. The bunch is pretty much split in half here. with 4 teams going on with it. Looks like Team 14 have actually paid for that effort there. Missed this move, which will be, they won't want to. Want to get straight onto this and see if they can rejoin the back of this front 4.
Yep.
They can't afford to lose a lap. They definitely can't afford to lose a lap.
And it's looking pretty like they might. Simone Consonni powering away now, dropping the other riders she was away with, flying up the track, determined to do this solo at the moment. She's being hunted down though, Team 3 with a powerful response. Getting back onto the wheel of the Italian, who sits up a little bit, does she, and waits for those other teams to come across. Team 3, Team 12, back in the fold. We've got 4 teams now working together again. Half a lap, or just under half a lap's lead on the track as Team 2 pile on the pressure at the front of the bunch to keep this as tight as possible. Don't want the Italians taking a lap here.
Team 2 are keeping everyone honest back in the group, but they're not getting too much cooperation from other teams. It's at least 4 laps that Team 2's been stuck on the front here.
And Nia Evans continues as well to work on the front for Team 2, so it's just Team 2 doing the work. Nia Evans, quite rightly, injects a bit of pace, tries to go clear, sees which teams will come with her, and some of the cohesion just gets a bit disrupted back in that bunch. And the 4 riders are getting closer now.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot better collaboration with these front 4.
Browser is looking very strong, the young German for Team 3. So Consonni's getting good support now, picking up some of the back markers. Team 7 and Team 4 going to be picked off and lapped here. Passed. As they progress towards the back of the bunch. Bunch is a little bit further up the track, so they've got to get past Team 7 and Team 4 here, which they do on the racing line. Dropping down, and very soon there's going to be 4 teams taking a lap. That's actually rescued Team 7 there, the Danes, being swept up with this counter-attack. They get back into the bunch, but 4 other teams take a lap, including the Italians now.
Yep.
So by my reckoning, we've got 12 teams on the same lap.
Oh, brilliant move there.
40 laps remaining now in this Madison chase. 4 more sprints to come, including the sprint for the line at the finish. And in terms of the big favourites, we're pretty much as you were. But it's the German Team 12 who I hadn't noticed snuck into that little counter-attack with the Italians there, and they'd already taken a lap. So it's Team 12 who are now a lap ahead of everybody else. Team 12 in the box seat. There they are. They are leading on the track at the moment. Fabienne Jährig, one of 2 21-year-old German riders. German national points champion from a couple of years ago on the track. So 12 in the box seat in this Madison chase at the moment, a lap up on everybody else.
Yeah, I think the key here for the Germans is just to stay in contact here. They look a little bit jaded after that big push. They've been caught on the wrong side of a split back in the group. And there's a lot of valuable points coming up. So they've made the big push, taken the lap, are leading this event, but they have to stay in contact with the back of this group here.
Can't throw that lap away. 4.5 laps to go for the front of the race now to the next intermediate sprint. Team 10, Team 14, Team 6 with a charge on the outside. Stretching it, Team 14 now, Sophie Lewis going with this attack from Team 6. And the Italian straight on her, Simone Consonni straight onto Sophie Lewis.
Yeah, Team 6 have certainly gone a long way out from the points. Still with 3 laps to go. But stage 4, it's the Team 14 and Team 1 heavily mucking each other out here.
They are, aren't they? Maddie Leach now finds Guazzini on her wheel. Consonni gets thrown in. Maddie Leach, though, looking very strong in this Madison chase so far.
Yep. I think Consoni's going to be hard to beat in this sprint here coming up. Coming in nice and fresh.
32 laps from about 31. They'll take the bell for the intermediate sprint as they come round. It's Consoni on the front. Team 6, then Maddie Leach in the light blue with the red number 14 on her back as Nia Evans tries to go long round the outside, comes past Leach into second place.
Oh, Team 2 round the outside.
Yep, that's Evans. Yeah, this is classic from Nia Evans. Can she actually get the 5 points here? Yes, she does. Nia Evans ahead of Team 6. Chiara Consoni in third place. Maddie Leach and Team 14, Sophie Lewis now persisting with this move. Nia Evans continuing with her effort. Team 6-14, 1 and 2 off the front. Team 13 riding across as once again the bunch falls apart a little bit under pressure.
Yeah, and just off the screen here, our Germans who took a lap there are still in no man's land, stuck behind in the tail end of the group there.
Yeah, they are.
They really need to push on to try to regroup with the back of the bunch.
They still have their nose in front though, don't forget. Look at those standings, top left. Zygmunt and Jerich, Team 12, a lap up. But in terms of the points accrued, in second place now, it's Team 2 after Nia Evans won that intermediate sprint on 5 points she is. 1 lap down though, Team 2, but in a move that might get across and take a lap. At this point, the commissaires will be defining the bunch, won't they? Because it's split into different parts. But there is a chase group of 5 riders, which I guess is the bunch.
Yeah, definitely. And as we speak there, Team 9 and Team 12 are making contact, so that is definitely deemed as the bunch. Our second group of 7.
Yeah, and they're pretty close to the front of the race, actually. The Danes have once again been swept up by this attack, and they're using these wheels to get back into the bunch.
But I think our next sprint will be contested by these 5 teams out front. Italians slightly lost contact here.
Yep.
With 4 laps to go.
Guazzini closing a little bit of a gap. Team 2 are still there, 14. Team 1 of the big teams, it's those 3 teams who just sit on the back of this 5-rider group at the front of the race. 23 laps to go now. 3 laps until the next intermediate sprint. There was 1 last time out by Team 2 and Nia Evans, who's on the racing line at the moment. That's the bunch just going through the finish line now, so they're half a lap down, a little bit over half a lap down.
Big push from Guazzini around the outside here.
Yeah, Sophie Lewis just looked a bit tired there on the front as she came around the line. And Guazzini attacks her.
If she can put Consoni in here, coming around with the bell, she's going to be very, very hard to take.
Well, Maddie Leach gets thrown in just ahead of Chiara Consoni. Leach goes off in pursuit of Consoni. Consoni opens up a gap, but Leach is shutting it. And Maddie Leach is looking so good in this Madison chase. These 2 riders are very nearly there to take a lap. Are they going to take the lap first? Well, what do you do there? They make the catch at exactly the point where they reach for the sprint as well. So who gets the points? We do know they get a lap though.
Yeah, they'll take the double. They'll take the points.
And the lap.
And the lap, so a big move there.
Good response from Leach.
Very, very, very good.
But it was Consoni who
took the maximum.
Who took the maximum 5 points. Leach takes 3 for second place at that. Full Team 14.
So that also brings the Italians up on the same lap as the Germans.
And Team 14 as well.
And that should move them in front actually once we update the points. With 2 sprints left in this chase. Obviously,
yeah, I agree. Yes, it will. They started in 3rd place. Yeah, they should be in the lead, the Italians, Guazzini and Consoni.
Obviously, the big one is the double points on the bell here.
Things calm down a little bit, only to kick off again. Kat Ferguson following the move of Team 15, so they're on the back foot a bit, the team in orange, Team 8. But they're being marked by, look at that, Team 1 and Team 14, straight on to Team 8. Not allowing them any freedom here whatsoever. Aware of how dangerous they are. It's Team 15 though, who kicked that all off. Eckhoff through 15 laps to go, and again a quartet of teams just going clear, but then joined by 2 other teams, and it comes back together again. Chiara Consoni though, still keeping the pace high on the front. Sprint in 4 laps, Consoni on the front, Leach again on her wheel. Team 9 in 3rd place, then comes team 15. Kat Ferguson being thrown in by Juliet Eekhoff.
Yeah, not much is separating the Olympic champions here and our British pairing all night. Wherever one goes, the other goes.
It's been a very fast and dynamic Madison chase this for the women.
Come
Nia
round.
Evans, yeah.
2 laps to go for our penultimate sprint.
Evans making a charge up on the outside alongside Sophie Lewis now. Guazzoli on the front, Sophie Lewis on her wheel, Nia Evans in 3rd place, Kat Ferguson, who doesn't really have a sprint, on 4th.
It's a high
Should
speed.
be a formality here for Chiara Consoni, I'd have thought, to take another 5 points. It is. Sophie Lewis doesn't even try and out-sprint her.
No, I think just the timing of that change was always going to be a hard one to get over the top of. The Italians have definitely cemented their lead in this point score.
3 teams on the same lap. That is team 1, 2 and 12, the German team. But they have a big points advantage, the Italian team.
The big question here is there anyone in the group here who has the legs to put the Italians under pressure for this final double point sprint? The Italians seem quite content there, back middle of the bunch after taking 2 sprints on the trot.
Yeah, they've ridden this one with characteristic patience and strength, reading the race really well, doing what they had to when they had to, but no more than that. Puts them in the box seat now with 7 laps remaining. And now marking team 14, keeping a watchful eye on those riders with the blue jersey. As an attack goes off the front by team 11. Characteristic attack from team 11. Trying to go solo. Team 6 going with them. Team 9. Team 3 shutting it down with Sophie Lewis as well, who this time has lost her Italian marker a little bit. And that's interesting. Sophie Lewis in that light blue jersey of team 14, just latching onto the back of this group that's gone off the front, and the Italians a little bit caught out by that, but having the strength just to bring the bunch, or the back end of the bunch, back together again.
Yeah, they've definitely got a lot of work to do if they think they're going to get any points with 4 laps remaining. Let's see what they've got up their sleeve in this last 3 laps.
Well, Chiara Consoni, the favourite for this final sprint, in around about 10th place in the line. Too late for anyone to take a lap now. We've got 3 laps to go, but who's going to take the maximum 10 points? Getting a bit watchful, a bit wary. Maddie Leach from team 14 on the outside, hitting the front. Sophie Lewis resting up, she'll do her final turn fairly soon.
Team 14 are in a box, in perfect position here.
They are.
Coming around to get the bell. The Italians are way out of it. They won't be contesting, won't be getting any points in this final sprint.
So here we go, Maddie Leach reaches for Sophie Lewis as team 6 hit the front. Now Sophie Lewis comes across the line with the bell in 2nd place and surges past team 6 on the back straight. Sophie Lewis should have this in the can, and it looks like she will. Challenged all the way by team 6, but Lewis has enough in the tank to hold on and take the final sprint. But victory will go to the Italians. Good final sprint, and they got that perfect, but it was the Italian team who throughout those 30 minutes of racing in the Madison Chase bossed it.
No, impressive ride by the Italians, but very well picked up bonus double point sprint from our British pair. Great change, a lap to go, and just proved too much speed with that big acceleration over the top.
Yeah, it was a good response from Michel Andres from Team 6, but Sophie Lewis had enough in the end. And a perfect, as you say, perfectly timed change for Team 14. So Team 14, the winners of the final sprint. 10 points to them. But the Italians take the round and pile some more points on and take laps significantly on some of their rivals. So really beginning to dominate affairs now.
Yeah, they're going to have a very handy buffer going into tomorrow's last session of racing.
Yeah, that's, as you say, that is the women's event done and dusted for the day. Just the men's Madison chase to come. Another win, though, for Guazzini and Consoni. The longer this competition goes on, the better they get, seemingly. Lap of honour then for the last time on Saturday nights in front of the London crowd. For a team that is emerging as class will out the longer this competition goes on as the big favourites, and tomorrow they'll be very, very hard to dislodge. Vittoria Guazzini and Chiara Consoni, Team 1, on those classy looking tricolore painted Pinarello bikes, looking the part and delivering the goods here in London. The Olympic Madison champions living up to their billing. Right, you can see the men beginning to get up on the track as we look at the general classification standings now. That extra lap they took there, they've got the biggest points tally of 192, and now really significantly they've got 2 laps on everybody else. The next best, Team 14, 3 and 8.
Yeah, it's all quite close behind, but that is a big lead. 20 points plus 2 laps.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in an impregnable position, or pretty close to it. Let's hear their thoughts.
Vittoria, another comprehensive display from you both. At any point, did you feel the pressure from the rest of the field?
I mean, yeah, it's really nice. It's always good to win, and yeah, we can be confident at least for the last day tomorrow. So yeah, I hope we can go till the end.
2 event wins just today. Confidence, great, and a bit of a buffer heading into tomorrow. Does it change your approach having that kind of security?
No, I think we are here to enjoy everything, enjoy the track, enjoy the public, the people, and the atmosphere. So we try to have fun first, and then what is the result, it's always good.
How much energy are you getting from this crowd?
For sure, we need all the energy because it's been a long season. So thank you for cheering us, and yeah, see you all tomorrow.
Thanks, ladies.
Right, 1 race remains then. The small matter of a 30-minute Madison chase for the men's pairings, the men's teams. 16 teams on the track, 32 riders on the track. And quite a congested general classification that could take a bit of a shake-up today. The last event, the team elimination race, saw some spectacular failures by the big teams, by Team 1, by Team 9, and by the Italian pair of Team 4, including Chiara Consoni's older brother, Simone. They'll want to put that right in this final Madison chase. The European champions, though, Team 1, taking them round as we get ready to start this race. The pistol is readied, and we're going to go. That's the general classification standings. It's still Team 9, Ben Wiggins and Yuri Havik, who lead the way, courtesy of the one-lap advantage that they have over all the other teams, hoping to dislodge them.
I think the big difference in this chase, Ned, will be fatigue. I think there's some teams getting tired. I think we saw some tactical mistakes in the last event.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to more about legs in this one.
Well, asking the question of those legs straight away, we've got Team 11 on a characteristic early attack, followed by Team 12. Well, Team 3 going after them in pursuit, and the winners of the elimination race as well, Team 5, trying to get in the mix as well. So it could be that 4 teams come together again and form our first attack of the day, or of the last event of the day, I should say. None of the big teams, though, yet to show their cards.
No, as we saw in the women's event,
very similar. Yeah,
the smaller teams trying to take this opportunity, fly a little bit under the radar, make the higher profile teams looking at each other in the first 5 minutes of the event, and already taken well over half a lap in the last 3 laps. Big move.
Well, the pace is pretty moderate at the front of the bunch, so this is a real opportunity if they power through and off, share the work, invest in this now and get it done very cheaply. They're nearly there, and unless something changes in the front of the bunch, they'll seal this one fairly soon.
Yeah, and also with minimal effort.
Yeah,
which is the big thing.
Here they come flying down the home straight. Team 11, Team 12, Team 3 and Team 5. Seconds away from getting it done, and there we go. That was one of the fastest laps we've seen in the Madison Chase. But as you say, no teams represented in those 4 who would really worry the main contenders back in the field. Now we've got to move though. 9 being tracked. It's Ben Wiggins, and he's being followed by Reinhardt. It's the Dutch pair of Team 8 go off the front. So 9 and 1 in a 5-team group off the front. Team 16 will parent chasing. The Italians not reacting or investing anything in the chase at the moment.
No, they seem quite relaxed back in the main group there, the Italians.
Well, now they're riding with a bit more intent at the front of the bunch.
Probably realise who's gone up the road there.
Yeah, 2 of the biggest rivals, Team 9 and Team 1. Not sure that's a move that the Italians can. There he is, Elia Viviani working at the front of the bunch. Yeah, it was almost as if they realised a bit late, Matt, wasn't it, who'd gone in that move?
Yeah, it was. They looked quite relaxed, then a glance across the other side of the track and then a sudden injection of speed.
Right, hang on. And it is still Viviani on the front.
Not getting too much help from the bunch neither.
No. It's going to be hard to shut down this one. And you do wonder whether they're going to persist with this, Matt. They might have to just accept that they're not going to get any help here, cut their losses, allow these riders to take a lap and then look to counter-attack, because this is going to really cost them, isn't it?
It will.
Pinned to the front of the bunch at the moment.
They've either got to commit here or swing up the track, call the other team's bluff and hope for the best.
Because as good as they are, this is a bit of an impossible task. For as long as there's cohesion at the front of the race, they're not going to be able to pull this one back alone.
No, I mean, you can see those teams out front have realised that the Italians have missed it, and they are well on their way to... they're still stuck there at half a lap, but they are committed, and they are sharing the workload.
Yeah, but there's 10 riders working at the front, isn't there, as opposed to 2 at the front of the bunch.
Yep, so the Italians are off the front of the chase.
Yeah, Team 14, but not riding with anything like the commitment the Italians are. Very short turns on the front from Team 14, Team 15. So this is an opportunity now for Roger Kluger to bring this group of 5 home and to claim that lap, and that will hurt the Italians.
Yeah, well, it will. They've been on top of everything so far in the last 2 days, and that was just a slight lack of loss of concentration. before they realised that actually the teams that they should have been marking were the ones who were up the road, and that has cost them a lap.
Well, they haven't quite given up, have they? Consonni has gone on the counter-attack with Team 16, so 4 and 16 off the front of the bunch as they make contact with the bunch. So those 5 teams now will get a lap, but no sooner have they done that than they've got a problem, because the Italians, so 4 and 16, straight away without hesitation launch that counter-attack.
Yeah, that's a big injection of speed.
It's actually that's a very smart move, isn't it?
It is, it is.
I mean, who's going to chase them now? The 5 teams who've just made the junction, they needed a respite. They can't commit to chasing, and the other teams aren't really in the general classification fight.
No, you're right. And the teams who just bridged across are going to need another couple of laps actually to even get to the front.
Yeah.
So it's a big move. They're at half a lap now.
Very quickly as well. There they come. Round they come. Over, well, just about half a lap up. Team 15 riding on the front of the bunch. But it's Tidbull, Viviani, working well together, understanding they're effectively these 2 teams in exactly the same position tactically, and needing to share this work and commit. Tidbull still in. Consonni gets swapped in by Viviani. Consonni shuts the gap to Tidbull. Will Perrett joins in now. There they are, the 2 of them. Perrett now and Simone Consonni. Won't be long before they take a lap, and it effectively equalises everything among the big teams.
Yep, they're nearly there now.
So they take the laps, Team 16 and Team 4. Off the front of the race though, 7 and 5 have attacked. 14 going after them as well, so a little bit ragged at the front of the bunch now. We've got at least 3 teams off the front.
It has been the general trend. Just when other teams are approaching the back of the group, it's the perfect time to launch the counter move. These 3 teams are going to have to get together very quickly, otherwise it's going to be the hard way to take the lap.
Yeah, 14 are right on the limit here, I think, trying to shut the gap to Team 5. Looks like Team 5 are going to get across there to the wheel of the Danes, Team 7, and they could form a 2-team fighting force, but Team 14 there, they're in no man's land.
Yep, and the Danes and the Czechs working well together.
That's very difficult for young 12s there, Callum 12s from Team 14 to do anything about, because they've got together in front of him and they've got a chance of taking a lap, Team 7 and Team 5, but Team 14 really put to the sword here. Charlie Tanfield gets thrown in as we see 7 and 5 very nearly in the home straight onto the back wheels of the bunch.
Even if Team 14 do manage to scramble back to the back of the group to take that lap, this effort has really hurt them.
Great pursuiter though, Tanfield. He's doing a good job of it.
Yes.
As 7 and 5 get there, that's another 2 teams who've taken a lap.
Our Czech and our Danish combination are safely on the back of the group.
Yep. And 14 are not too far off the back, so hats off to them. Hats off to them for committing to that move. And Callum 12s actually gets there, or very nearly gets there. You can see him just coming into your shot there at the back of the bunch. There he is. Almost made the junction, almost there. Still not quite there. Lap hasn't been given to him yet.
No, he's gone very deep. Very deep to get this lap. He's going to look for his partner very quick here.
Here he comes. Still not there quite. There's Charlie Tanfield though. Right on cue, there's the hand sling. Can Tanfield finish it off? Yes, he can. So, well done. They really committed to that. They had to decide one way or another, and Team 14 take a lap.
So it looks like our Czech combination are up at the moment.
Yeah, they're a lap up on everyone. Buoyed by their success in the team elimination race. as we have an attack off the front, and again it's Team 1 animating things with Team 11 and 16. Team 10 riding across that gap, and the Italians now not hesitating this time. Again, a little bit caught out, but Viviani's trying to race across to join in this attack.
And with Ben Wiggins in hot pursuit.
Yep. So that's the front of the race. And there you can see the blue jersey of Team 4. There's Elia Viviani. There's the reaction again. It was a little bit too late. Yuri Harvik on his wheel.
Yeah, they're certainly doing it the hard way, the Italians.
It's uncharacteristic for the Italians. Normally so economical with everything they do, so tactically in command. But this time they've had to invest in rescuing the race situation on a couple of occasions. Team 14 under pressure as well, having only just got across, in danger of falling away from the bunch. But 10, 1, 11 and 16 are motoring at the front. Half a lap up. There is Elia Viviani, slotting into the wheel of Team 8, the Dutch team.
Yeah, too little, too late, I think.
Well, are we going to see the same tactic repeat itself? Because they're going to be across and taking a lap fairly soon. Team 1 and Team 16, Team 10 and Team 11. And last time, it was around about now that Team 4 counter-attacked. Are they going to do the same thing again? And if so, who will go with them?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to come from the Italians, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone does make a move. Oh, here we go. Team 11, big move around the outside. Or Team 12, sorry.
Yep, Team 12, one of the black jerseys. The Italians opting not to go with this move, but Team 9 do go. Yuri Harvik picking the wheel of his compatriot there, the Dutch rider from Team 8. Going off in pursuit of Team 12 at the front of the race. Simone Consoni on the front of the bunch for Team 4. Swings up, Consoni, so the Italians not opting to go with this move.
Oh, for me, they seem a little bit jaded, the Italians.
Well, you said at the beginning, Matt, this is going to go on legs, isn't it, this one? To some extent, at least.
They certainly haven't looked as sharp in this last chase as they have in the other events this evening.
So 12, 8 and 9 off the front. But those laps taken by that 5-rider group have equalised things absolutely in the standings. You can see Team 1, 5, 10, 11 and 16 are all on the same lap now. And we haven't had any points accorded yet, but we're within 9 laps now of the first sprint.
Yeah, these three teams are making really good progress across. Big surge of pace from our Dutch superstar. Now the big question here, are they going to be content on taking the points, or do they want to reach the back of the bunch and then not get the points?
I think they look like they're racing for the lap ahead of the sprints, to me, committing to it. And they're not far off either.
No.
6 laps to go until the sprints. Ben Wiggins, a big acceleration from Wiggins, almost dropping the other 2 riders who are swapping off. Team 9, Ben Wiggins bringing it home, very nearly onto the back of the bunch to take a lap.
Just weaving through traffic here.
Swings up. Team 12 though, almost there. Getting roared on as those 3 teams now still agonisingly just short of taking that lap. Ben Wiggins actually beginning to pay for his efforts there, flings in Yuri Harvik. Team 12 have taken the lap. Harvik though surely now, with a few more pedal strokes, will bring Team 9 and Team 8 across to the back of the bunch. Fabian van Bosker is the last rider in the bunch, and still they're not quite there.
No, Team 12 have made it safe and sound.
Yep.
Be interesting where they deem the front of the bunch to be. They haven't, so they're saying the front of the bunch is still team
There,
9.
yeah, he's pointing at Yuri Harvick.
Now, is this a tactic? Is this a tactic to take the points?
Well, it is now, isn't it? They've stopped racing for the lap, and now they're thinking about the sprint. So 2 laps to go until the sprint, and Harvick's thinking about the. So there's a bit of gamesmanship going on between those two teams. Ben Wiggins now, so it's between Team 8 and Team 9 for the maximum points. They get onto the back of the bunch, and it's going to be Team 8, I think, who take the maximum 5 points. Ben Wiggins and Team 9 will settle for second place, and they take a lap.
It was a great tactical decision, actually.
Yep.
They could have easily joined 5 laps earlier, just backed off a little bit, took the points, and then rejoined the back of the peloton.
Yeah, you're right. And when you consider how Team 12 invested in getting their lap, they ended up with no points.
But as we speak, the Italians have made a big move. You blink and you miss them.
Yeah, where's that come from? You're right. There we go. Simone Consoni was so focused on what was happening at the front. That's a massive move from the Italians.
They've taken a lap, that must be under 5 laps.
Oh, that's extraordinary. So the Italians right back in the thick of it now. Brilliant riding. Took us all unawares, that one. Fantastic stealth attack from the Italians, doing it very quickly as everything just calmed down a little bit after that sprint. As you say, 4 or 5 laps and they've done it.
Well, it certainly answers the question about their legs, because they'd made a couple of tactical mistakes earlier in this chase, but you don't take a lap that quickly without a great set of legs, and the Italians have. That was a brilliant move and a short, sharp effort to rejoin the top of the leaderboard.
Well, Team 11 as well just take another lap. Let's have a look how many teams we've got on the same lap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams all on the same lap. As things stand, it's Team 8 who lead the way, as Team 14 now go on the offensive. Team 14 finding themselves a lap out of contention, Harry Tanfield and Callum Twelves. Doing it solo, the hard way. But making a good fist of it, opened up about a third of a lap's lead. They're riding tempo in the bunch at the moment, so it's an opportunity for them to take a little bit more, although Roger Kluger's beginning to accelerate away for Team 1.
Yeah, I don't like their chances here. The pace has certainly stayed on.
Yeah, it has.
Really big injection from the German pair. And Team 14 looks like they're starting to fade a little.
Well, they need to carry on riding, I think. Tanfield's just looking around and checking, because if this group, including Roger Kluger, Team 6 and Team 13, get across to them, then they do have a chance of working in that group and with that group and still taking a lap. Team 12 fires a rider off the front, but Charlie Tanfield riding on. Reinhardt is almost across to the wheel of Tanfield, and they're very nearly half a lap up. Team 6, Team 1, Team 14 on the front, so that group comes together. Team 12 have fired a rider across, so 4 teams at the front. But it's Team 11 who now lead the way, the Belgian team. They are now on 1 lap more than everybody else. They just snuck after the Italians attacked. They came in almost unawares as well, unnoticed by the rest of them, and they actually have taken 1 lap more than anybody else. So this is the front of the race at the moment. 4 teams on the front. Team 16 riding on the front of the bunch, half a lap in it. And somewhere in that bunch are the team in red, Team 11. Who are the team to beat at the moment in the box seat in this final event of Saturday night here in the Velodrome, the 30-minute Madison Chase. Just over 10 minutes of racing still to go.
There's our countdown, 40 laps to go.
Well, Team 11 sitting pretty here. How can they see this one out, get the job done? De Vilder and Hesters. World Omnium champion, Lindsay De Vilder. Classy bike riders, and they've got themselves in the box seat here.
Oh, it's a big surge of pace by Team 12 here as they look to rejoin the back of the group, which has split the chase group into various groups.
It's got ragged, this Madison Chase, but it is Team 12 who are on the front. Fabian van den Boske.
And our young
Kiwi.
Kiwi.
The race, yeah. They're going to be taking a lap imminently. So really good move from Team 12. That'll move on to the same lap as Team 11. And then we will have a battle on our hands between those two. 35 laps remaining. He's still not there though. Keegan Hornblow hasn't got the lap just yet. As the Italians go off the front now. We've got Roger Kluger and Team 1 very nearly onto the wheel of Team 12 as well. Hard to keep your eye on. All over the track now, riders are attacking, teams taking laps. But still it's Team 12 who are at the front of the race.
No, here come Team 12 here. They need to do it quick because they've been stuck in the middle.
And they take, they make the lap now. So they're back onto the bunch, and they are now on the same laps as Team 11.
Just one.
But it's Team 1 now coming in fast to take a lap as well.
Yeah, just 1 point behind.
So all change. There you go, you're absolutely right. Team 11 have 1 point, Team 12 have none. Bell has rung, we're going to have a sprint. And the points are being given to one of the teams attacking to take a lap. Team 6 looks like they've swept up the points, with Team 14 in second place, and I think Elia Viviani might have finished third. We'll have to wait to see what the commissaires make of that, because Team 6 have just taken a lap, and he was at the front of the race. So everything is changing very fast in this chaotic Madison Chase at the moment. 28 laps to go, I can tell you that much with certainty.
No, Team 11 and 12 here will just be looking to consolidate their lap there and not lose a lap in the last 25, 26 laps.
Absolutely. Team 14 are just about to take a lap. So are the Italians as well, bringing this group across. So the whole standings are going to level out again, with a number of teams joining Team 11 and Team 12, I think, on the same laps, and then it's all to play for. But Team 8 are in a handy position here, with a points tally of 5, and I think they're about to take a lap as well. So it could be that when we get a bit of a reshuffle here, you might see Team 8 moving to the top. Another attack coming. This time it's Team 11 off in pursuit of more points. 4 laps to go until an intermediate sprint. That's the front of the race at the moment, attacking from the bunch. Team 11.
Yeah, our young Belgium duo are riding a very impressive Madison Chase here.
Yeah, Lindsay De Vilder, the World Omnium champion, the reigning World Omnium champion, flying off the front. 3 laps to go to take the points. Team 12 in pursuit, Team 1, Team 16, Team 5. He's got a little bit of a gap. Can he see this one out? 2 laps to hang on as he passes. Oh, well, that's De Vilder now. It's Hesters who brought him into play, and De Vilder, with fresher legs now, having rested up, should just be able to hold this one off. He'll take the bell this time around, and he's got a big gap over the chase. He'll take the maximum 5 points here.
Which will be enough to solidify their...
regain the lead by, well, it depends who gets what points behind him, I think. Watch out for Team 8, because they could yet deny him the lead. He takes the 5 points. Team 8 will pick up points there for third place, which I think will just about keep them in control of this Madison chase. Blimey. You need to have eyes in the back of your head and a calculator on the go in this race. This is chaotic stuff. So, Team 11, still on the front. That's the front of the race. It is Jules Hesters on the front for Team 11. Being chased by Team 15. Still Team 1 heavily involved, with Team 8 following that wheel cannily. The Italians again just a little bit out of position. It's been curious to watch them. They're just the wrong side of a little split at the back of the bunch at the moment.
Yeah, so at the moment we have two teams tied on 5 points each. But with 2 sprints still to go, a lot to play for.
Yeah, I'm not sure that points tally is quite up to date, because Team 11 just got there. I think it'll be updated fairly soon. Team 11 should have a few more points added to their tally there on that graphic, so I wouldn't pay too much credence to that. It should get updated fairly soon. There we go, it's been updated now. So it's very close between 8 and 11, as I thought it was. 8 just by 1 point ahead of 11, because they picked up third place at that last intermediate sprint. In the meantime, the bunch has come together again, but there's a big attack coming over the top from Yuri Havik.
Oh,
as he just senses.
That's a big move.
Yeah.
That's a big move over the top here.
There we go.
Oh, he's just settled back into fourth wheel. I thought he was going to go right over the top and take the lead.
He just found himself a little bit out of position. Team 16 on the front. 2 laps to go until an intermediate sprint here. And Team 11 heavily involved again here. Team 8 might find their virtual lead on the track taken here by Team 11. They're in second place, sitting on the wheel of Team 16 at the moment. They're going to take the bell, and if they hold on to the top placings here and Team 8 don't beat them over the line, well, basically it's a head-to-head between those two. And Team 11 are running away with this. De Wilders is going to make sure that with 1 sprint to go, they move into control of this race.
Yeah, brilliant move, good timing for the change. And they are looking very resilient as we go into the last 10 laps of our long chase of the evening. Still with double points, Ned, it's not over yet.
It isn't, but I'm not sure that Team 8 picked up any points there. So
no, it looked like they didn't.
I think they're going to have a decent lead of maybe 4 points ahead of Team 8 in second place. Eight laps to go. Don't think anyone's going to be taking a lap now, so I think it's all down to the final sprint and the jostling for position on the line. Calms down just a little bit as Team 9 find themselves on the front, Team 1 on the wheels, and then once again the red jersey of Hesters. Team 11 have, the longer this race has gone on, Matt, the better they've looked.
Yeah, definitely. They're a classy duo, the Belgians.
Oh yeah, Team 8 going long. There's the updated graphics. You can see there as Team 11 move into it's a 3-point lead over Team 12 in second place, but Team 8 are looking to launch a long one and upset the apple cart. It's an audacious move. The Italians are trying to shut it down, Simone Consoni, but Team 8 are committing to this, perhaps not fancying their chances of getting points in the sprint.
Yeah, but look at Team 11. They've lined up the Germans.
Yep.
Coming around with 4 laps to go. They're in pole position, actually.
Their biggest threat is behind them. It's Team 12. Only 3 points behind Team 11, but yeah, they've read that perfectly. Kept a cool head, Team 11.
They've got a chance for one more change here. Put the fresher rider in. follow the Germans through.
Elia Viviani onto the wheel of the rider from Team 8 now. So that's been shut down, that move, and once again, Team 11 playing a blinder, but Team 12 coming round them. 2 laps to go, and Team 11 cannot afford to let Fabian van der Bosse go here. Hesters with Viviani. Team 12 on the front as they take the bell.
No, it's between the Italians and the Belgians. Oh, that's a big turn of speed there.
Yep.
Team 11, that's a very, very impressive ride.
It's going to be enough to take the win. They're going to take this all the way to the line. Even if Consoni, no, he doesn't outsprint them. That's the victory. Not just in the final sprint, but in the final event of the evening. That was fantastic racing from Jules Hesters and from his teammate De Wilde. Outstanding from Team 11, who grew in confidence and tactical nous the longer that chase went on. They won the final sprint and they won the final event.
They were the impressive partnership in that chase. Dominated both tactically and leg-wise. They didn't fade. They actually got stronger as the event got on. It was a hard one to keep track of, Ned, with so much happening.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Matt. My brain was frying at times. That was one of the most chaotic sprints Madison chases I think I've ever seen. Riders all over, and it was those 2 teams actually. It was the Italians and Team 11, the Belgian team, who, I mean, the way they took laps, those 2 teams, almost nobody saw them do it, and they did it so quickly as well to put themselves back into contention.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Italians made maybe a couple of tactical mistakes early on, but then did rectify the situation with a very fast, lethal lap. I think they took it in under 5 laps there, and then played their cards well in the back end there. And be interesting when the final tally is added up where they sit on the general classification going into tomorrow's night's racing.
Absolutely. It's getting closer, isn't it? It is getting closer. The new updated general classification will make some interesting reading, I think, and I'm wondering now whether Team 9 might be dislodged from the top. With all that lap taking, I can't say with any certainty, Matt, whether they finished on the same number of laps as Team 11 and the Italians. Maybe they did, and maybe they do still have their lap advantage over everyone else.
They certainly won't have a point advantage, that's for sure.
No, that would have been wiped out. So Hester's just rolling to a standstill there. First rider across the line at the end of the Madison chase. Job done for the evening, and done in style as well. World Omnium champion alongside him, Lindsay De Wilde. Silver medal as well in the Madison World Championships for De Wilde.
See both riders there signed up for Top Sport Vlaanderen.
They've always, haven't they, as a team, they've always balanced track and road. Probably more so than almost any other trade team.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably one of the best development teams going around, and they obviously, all the riders who ride for this team are Flemish, and they obviously track does have a lot of importance.
Yeah,
a lot more than other World Tour teams or other continental teams.
Absolutely. You look back at the riders who've ridden for them on track and road, like Kenny de Kettler as well in the past. Great example. And they've got 2 good ones here, 2 Belgians.
And for these guys as well, obviously the Ghent 6 Day, one of the biggest events on the Belgium cycling calendar. So these 2 will be looking to win that one before they head into the road season next year.
A lot of prestige in the Ghent 6 Day, a lot of money to be made as well for the top riders on that circuit. Oh, they've been entertained here in London right to the last. That was a thriller, that Madison chase. And they're not the champions yet, but they certainly won that last event, that last race of the evening. Hopefully we'll get their thoughts in a moment or 2 before we sign off for the evening and everyone makes their way home. Good time was had by all. If you're watching these pictures, come down and see the final session tomorrow. Let's hear from our winning pair though, Team 11.
Jules, you've established yourself as one of the quickest finishers on the 6-day circuit, but how difficult and different are things when you've got an Italian on your shoulder?
Yes, it's never easy to win a bike race, but riding with the brand new world champion definitely helps, and he put me in the perfect position and gave a really strong handling, so that makes things definitely much easier.
Lindsay, of course, a brand new world champion in the Omnium. When you have an emotional high like that, how have you regathered yourself for an entire 3-day event this weekend?
I just know that the condition is really good, and to ride for such a nice crowd, yeah, you have to give everything, and we really enjoy racing here.
This team together, we've got one more day to go. There are some tough teams out there and some points up for grabs. What's going to be the approach for tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll go all in, and yeah, it's going to definitely be a hard battle tomorrow, and I think the strongest team is going to win the 3-day.
Can't wait to see it, guys. Go have a sleep. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Well, Team 11, will they be in the hunt for glory when we close it out tomorrow? Remember, live action starts at 1 tomorrow. Here is the updated general classification. Havok and Wiggins do hang on to that singular lap advantage, which could be very significant. They've defended that all the way through today. Team 1 move up into 2nd place. Viviani and Consoni Team 4 in 3rd. Looking for Team 11, there they are in 4th place now, 142 points. Points-wise, it's incredibly congested, but for Team 9, someone has to take that lap off them, otherwise they're going to win this. Plenty of chances to do it though tomorrow, Matt.
Nothing in it tomorrow. Nothing in it. One lack of concentration, one lap taken, and we could see any of those 4 teams take the lead.
All right, thanks very much for your company. Matt, you'll join us again for commentary tomorrow. To everybody concerned behind the scenes and to the riders, thank you very much. That delivered drama to the very end here in London on Saturday night.